going on, y'all? It's your boy Wisco Man coming at ya with another reaction video. If you guys haven't already, please be sure to smash that like button down below, hit that sub, and flip them notifications over to all. Good lord, sometimes I have to do like hiccups on them intros or when I'm saying shit. I don't know why. But anyway, we checking out some Ren here. And I'm going to do this all as one because I believe they pretty well go together. The obvious explanation of this piece that he dropped about a week ago or so, titled Why Sick Boy is Off All Streaming Platforms, as well as YouTube, it seems he noted. But the KujoBeats and Ren situation, which I'm not sure that I necessarily knew that was a KujoBeat thing or any of that stuff. I'll be completely honest, this is the first I'm hearing of it based on the title, but I've been interested since it dropped, and I just need to get some time to react. We will also be transitioning straight into the Kujo Beatdown reaction right after this, because I'm fucking here for it. So, that being said, there'll be plenty of time to comment throughout this video. Let's just go ahead and jump up in it.
This is a video that I never, ever really wanted to have to make, but it's very important for me that I do. All the time, artists all over the world pour their souls into their work, and that work is tainted by money or greed.
Yep.
A lot of you will have been asking me the question why Sick Boy has disappeared now, as well as YouTube on streaming services. It's a video that was very close to me. It's a video that told my story about my health. It's a video that told the story of many other people who have been gaslit by the medical community.
Not to mention, it's the video that, at least in my Ren journey, I should say, being that he's one of my favorite artists now, I can say that it was a journey for me, getting to know him and whatnot. And Sick Boy may not have been the first one that I discovered from him. Matter of fact, the one I discovered from him was Animal Flow was the first one. And I forget why I checked him out, if there was a recommendation or what. Oh, Black Pegasus, that's right. Credit to BP on that one. Like, huge shout out to BP for that. Like, this dude is my new favorite artist because of that. And I gotta say, like, so Animal Flow's my intro. I hear Sick Boy, and that's where you really, that was off a few recommendations, but that's where you really start to understand the story that Ren has to tell in his music. Like, where he comes from, the trials that he had to go through for Lyme's disease and shit like that, like, and the countless other fucking issues that it caused. So, yeah, man, it's, I don't know if he's got an audio version up yet. Well, we'll see. He's gonna explain.
It's a story of greed in the music industry, ironically, funnily enough. It's also a song that I poured tens of thousands of pounds into for a music video, for promotion. It was also the leading title of the only #1 album that I've got, so I was very, very proud of it. And we'll no longer have that song, guys. And I want to go into the reasons why. Also, I do recommend sticking around to the end of this video, because I've got a very exciting announcement about all of this that relates to all of this right at the end. People who have been following me for a while, they'll know the sort of person I am. They know the principles that I have, and they'll know how I treat other independent artists. So they'll know why it was so important for me to have to make this video. And I want it to be as unbiased as possible. Obviously, I'm emotionally affected by it, and that may leak in, right? But I want to share entire clips of these conversations so there can be no doubt. Also, if Kujo and his girlfriend want to share any more screenshots of either of those conversations, I encourage them to, because I believe that this should all be public knowledge, so there can be no doubt. Rather than taking people's words from it, I would like them just to see transparently what has happened here. To give context for all of this, back in 2022, I buy a beat from BeatStars, right? For anyone who doesn't know, BeatStars is a platform that connects producers to artists who need beats.
Hell
I do
yeah.
produce most of my own work, but I wanted to find some hip-hop beats for inspiration. What I would usually do is buy a beat, arrange it slightly differently, tweak it myself, add my own vocals, add my own layers and stuff like that. I find this banging beat, right, from a producer called KujoBeats, which I buy an unlimited license for. This is all very important to keep in mind for later on, right? I buy an unlimited license, which means that I am able to put it on all streaming platforms and get as many streams as I want, and all recording on platforms like YouTube, etc., right?
Yeah.
After I do this, I send my YouTube guy that I work with, and I send the publishing team an email just giving them a heads up, being like, yo guys, I bought this beat, they need to be registered correctly, content ID needs to be turned off. I'll put a clip of that. I'm putting screenshots of those messages here, just in case Kujo claims I never did this. I did do this. I also went the extra mile.
Yeah. I've seen a little bit of this back end. Not so much from the producer's connection thing, but the buying. Like, I think there was one song that if I wanted to buy unlimited license to, that I reacted to, I can't even remember which one it was, but it offered to buy, that I could buy a license to it, and it was like $500, and I was like, are you fucking nuts? Like, no single reaction is ever gonna be worth $500, period. Like, and even if it ended up being worth that, like, that's not why I do these.
I messaged the team and said, look, we need to credit him on Spotify credits and stuff like that as well, because sometimes artists don't always fully credit producers.
Yeah.
I think that I forgot to do it in the YouTube description for like the first month or two, and then I
Okay.
updated it, and then he was fully credited the whole time.
And I do also want to point this out, since he's talking about credit. So I said at the start that I'm not sure that I knew that it was KujoBeats. That is not Ren's fault, by the way. I do just want to point that out. I generally don't know producers. There's like a few, like when they super get put on, like Kalani on the beat and shit like that with Upchurch. But in general, dude, like, it's hit and miss if you ever catch a producer. And I don't think that every artist needs to be putting producers, mixers, whatever on the way Church put on Kalani. Like, not every artist needs to be sitting here promoting your producer the way, like, they're the artist. Like, it works for Church, but, like, look in this situation where, like, say Kujo has, like, 10 different larger artists that are putting them on, right? And you're hearing KujoBeats, 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 and it's like, okay, who the fuck's the artist here? Is it Ren? Or is it the beat guy? Like, shout out to the beat guys out there like Kalani making some dope ass fucking productions. But let's be real. The art, what we're listening for at the end of the day, is what Ren's got to say. That's what Sick Boy was about. It ain't about the fucking beat. I mean, shit. I'll credit Kalani in this case. Like, Country Like That is one of the main ones where I was like, bro, you just brought every aspect of the country into this motherfucker and, like, really shined as a producer. Like, that was something he made very personal to Upchurch. So it really, even though Upchurch is putting him on, like, he put himself on by showing that amount of talent. But the average producer doesn't do that shit. Like, really, truly tie the shit to the artist, you know?
Time, right? That was just a lapse, because there was a lot going on. I was in Canada treating and stuff. But anyway, he was credited fully, like, very soon in, everywhere. And as far as I was aware, registered everywhere. So I don't think anything of it, right? Also, in the BeatStars contract, it says very clearly that the person selling you the beat has to own the beat. And if there are any elements of the beat that he doesn't own, he has to let you know. This is very important to remember for what is to follow as well, right?
Oh, boy.
So yeah, I think there's no problems. I buy the beat. I record a song. This is before things have blown up with my music, so I'm still pretty underground artist at this point. I record the track, put it out. I even get a message from him at some point, which is also important to remember because of the hypocrisy of this whole situation. Just like, wicked, I love the track. Okay? Yeah. Remember that too. Before I begin, I just want to add this. I have no problem with BeatStars. I think they're a very innovative company who actually help people make art, which I'm very passionate about. I think the contracts and the things you're getting into could be clearer, because we're now in a situation negotiating older tracks bought from BeatStars. I would love to talk to the if anyone from there is watching, I imagine they will be at some point. I would love to talk to the CEO, founder of BeatStars, face to face, just because I want to understand how something like this could have happened, and I want to understand why it escalated the way it did, because from what I've heard, he's someone who cares a lot about artists, and someone who creates a platform like that I think must be very passionate about music. I'd love to chat to you if you're listening, and I'd love to figure out why this happened and how we can stop things like this happening in the future. I also think that there needs to be a bit more stringent checks on if people are selling unlicensed samples, because then things tend to get a little bit sticky like they have here. Anyway, that's it. I have no problem with BeatStars because I'm not interested in going to war with them, because I think that it's really cool that there's a platform like that exists for artists and producers to be connected. Just thought I'd put that out there, make that clear. Right, so I arrive home from Canada after a 1.5 year long treatment of treating brain damage and autoimmunity, which a lot of you will know if you've been following my journey. Yeah. And I'm expecting a nice 2 weeks with my mates before I do my first ever solo show in 5 years because of my health. So I'm just like, I want a nice chill time. I want to be able to focus on rehearsing and stuff. Very early on, I wake up to a message saying, yo, your song Sick Boy has been taken down. So I look at it, and sure enough, it's been copyright striked from this guy KujoBeats, the channel. And initially I'm like, oh, this just must be some automatic fuck up. So like, I don't take it too seriously. I send him a message like, yo, there must have been a technical error or something here. No response for 2 days. So I'm like, what's going on? So I check his channel, and then I see a comment of that beat that he licensed me, and I see a comment that's like, Ren has left me no choice. I'm sorry that I had to do this. And I'm like, okay, so this was intentional. Like, what? Like, the last conversation I had with this guy was months ago, with him being like, yo, big up your work, it's sick. Yeah. So I'm like super confused about it. So I send him another email like, dude, what's going on? Again, I get absolutely no response. So I put a comment in his YouTube comment section, and I'm like, bro, I'm trying to get hold of you. Why are you ignoring me? Like, I just want to resolve this amicably. What's going on? Finally, I get a response on Instagram. And for the sake of this video, I'm just going to put all of these responses in their full form so that there can be no doubt as to what happened. I'm just going to read out like the key moments and explain the key moments. But if anyone's like interested in deep diving so there can be no doubt as to what's happened here, feel free to pause it. If Kujo and his girlfriend, like I said, feel like I've left anything out, they are welcome to post it. I have nothing to hide about this situation. So he responds, and he tells me that he's been talking to my lawyer for months.
Okay. So originally, it just says, hey Ren, I'm really sorry that it came to this. I especially asked my legal rep not to request a strike since I wanted to avoid this type of situation. My rep has been in contact with your lawyer, who has been exceedingly incompetent in his handling of the situation. Again, I'm sorry for this total cock up, and I hope you're doing okay. We have been in negotiation with blank for many months, and he has yet to come forward with reasonable terms according to industry standards. So yeah, I'd say talk to X and see what he says. I'm still waiting on updates from my rep at BeatStars. And Ren replies back, hi man, I had no idea at all you were even talking to him. He should have told you. He responds, as I told you that a couple months ago, the choir sample hadn't been cleared and that they were chasing us for money and that it's being dealt with. So I just figured it was being sorted behind the scenes. That's why this has all been so I think that's supposed to be surprising. Um, all I was told was that a couple months ago the choir sample hadn't been. Oh, okay. I see what it is. That's a reply. Reply to the first statement up here. So it says, I was also made aware of that, and I'm sorry it caused you trouble. Yeah, man, sorry this caught you off guard.
Which I have no idea about. I've been in Canada. And he seems like quite a nice guy initially, so I'm like, okay, maybe this has all just been a misunderstanding. I remember even saying to like Connor and that, I was like, this has probably just been a misunderstanding and something's gone wrong here. Don't worry. Seems like you're alright, dude. We will sort this out. But then after that little exchange, I noticed a comment in the YouTube comment section on his video saying that I'm lying about the situation.
Okay, so it just says, to all coming from Ren, sick boy, I have waited over a year for Ren and his team to follow the terms of the contract they signed for this beat. During this whole period, I have not issued any strikes with the faith that they would make things right. I asked my legal representative not to issue strikes initially, as I hoped Ren and his team would do the right thing. Unfortunately, they have delayed and avoided providing any reasonable terms to my team with shameful long periods of silence. Respect the terms of the contract. Don't spread misinformation. Don't lie. So I'd also like to point out this my team shit is kind of like, I don't know, maybe he does have a team, but it just seems like he's trying to use verbiage to make it sound like he's bigger than he is.
When I thought that we like on the same page here, so I pull him up on it, and he's like, "Oh no, I didn't say you were lying." When he cleared.
Okay, so it says this paints out that I'm putting out false information. I'm not. And then Kujo says, "Brother, I'm not saying you're lying. I'm addressing the irate fans. I'll edit the comment to make that clear. One sec. You said you hoped me and my team would do the right thing. I don't even know what the issue is. I'm really not trying to damage your image, bro. Can you explain it to me? Okay, let me go edit the comment and I'll get back to you right away." So, sounds like a dude that's really good at playing Mr. Battle in the fucking comment section, but can't do so much face to face or much less even text to text.
Clearly did. That should have been like the first red flag for me, but still giving him the benefit of the doubt, I was like, okay, maybe another misunderstanding. Anyway, so I contact my lawyer to find out what the hell's happening, because I'm in the dark about all of this situation. And he explains to me that I've been sold a beat with a stolen sample, with an unlicensed sample, and that the Bulgarian choir sample owners had chased him and gone, look, you've used this beat without permission, you've used this sample without permission, and so you need to give us 50% of the publishing split. And what my lawyer's done, because we were sold a beat in good faith and it wasn't actually cleared, he's reached out to Kujo and gone, look, I think you need to absorb this for selling this.
Yeah. Which is true.
Bad faith, basically. And
yeah, which, if you're buying a beat that is supposed to be somebody's beat and you're buying supposed 100% rights, assuming all that's correct, which I trust Ren to be honest, it's on the producer, bruh. You're the one that created the beat. If you sampled somebody and didn't pay him, boy, you done fucked up, because now this bitch is huge.
They've gone, no, we're not going to absorb that. And then it's escalated, and I think because my lawyer was being slightly slow with the responses, they also, keep in mind, I don't know any of this is happening right now. To get my attention, they issue a copyright strike on the video, which affects my YouTube channel, by the way, and the video gets taken down.
Yeah, you get one of 3, by the way. I have one for... I reshared a Trump video that apparently had election misinformation, and I did it on purpose, not knowing that it had misinformation. I just wanted to see what the reason was. Like, this interview had been taken down, and I'm like, nah, bro, fuck that. So I put this up. Well, I found exactly where the misinformation was. Whoops.
As a form of leverage, which is a bizarre way of dealing with things, I think, because it would have been a good idea to contact me, maybe, like anyone first, if this was getting so, like, blown up. Like, maybe the lawyers, maybe Kujo could have actually reached out to me, the artist. Nobody did. So I found that a bit bizarre. Any fucking way. Then I read another comment that Kujo's posted, calling me a coward.
Okay, so that says exactly we can talk on Instagram or email if you want. I've been in negotiations with your lawyer for months without receiving any satisfactory response. You have yet to pay me the royalties you owe me, and I think it's cowardly of you to pretend like you've done nothing wrong. Dude, why is this dude acting all like Two-Face? Like, you can be a tough boy in the fucking comments and be a tough boy in the goddamn DMs, bro. Like, these kind of fucking two-faced snake-ass bastards are the ones that bother me. Like, yeah, I'm gonna call it like it is. I'm reading the words for words, even if he's leaving shit out. Like, the shit you're saying is just, bro, you being a coward. By calling him a coward, like, you're being a coward.
To pay the royalties he's owed, and I'm like, what royalty? That's also, in my head, the publishers are just paying him the money, and now the situation has to change until everyone agrees on it. But I wasn't even privy to that conversation about what a fair split should be yet. So I was like, what? I don't owe you. I don't owe this guy money. Like, there's no master splits on the BeatStars contracts, by the way. So all money that comes in to Kujo, which should be paid to Kujo, rightly so, comes from the publisher, which has nothing to do with me, by the way. I explained this so many times in this conversation, by the way, and he's adamant to say, probably short of like 50 times, pay me my money. I am nothing to do with his money, right? So it's a very bizarre thing to keep saying, but I try to explain that to him patiently. Never really takes it in. Anyway, he calls me a coward on this comment, so I pull him up on that. This actually starts to then rub me up a little bit. So I'm like, I pull him up on that. It's saying like, the hell, like, cowardly. Anyway, I'm still giving him the benefit of the doubt at this point. Anyway, despite this, I feel like he's probably just misinformed. So I still...
Hang on. Sorry, I didn't think he was going to flip off before I got a chance to read it. I was going to read the rest of it to you guys.
Rub me up a little bit. So I'm like, I pull him up on that. It's saying like...
So, since... Oh, okay. So this is a whole new thing. So it says, also this man, cowardly, bro. I didn't even know you weren't being paid publishing. But publishing has nothing to do with the actual artist. I've been frustrated with my own publisher, but if there's been a faulty registration of your publishing, then you and me both are pissed at them because I forwarded them the contract from BeatStars for this exact reason, so you'd get all the publishing you deserve. There should be a 50-50 split. So that's Ren. Then this dude, being all cool modern lingo shit, says, bet, I'll edit it out. Like I said, I woke up to a bunch of angry fans and it got me shook. Okay. This is all, Ren says back to him, this is all just a pretty crazy way to go about things. I don't understand why the copyright strike would even be sent without anyone, you or my lawyer, telling me what's going on. Which, to be fair, I think the lawyer was probably trying to not bother Ren with it, thinking that it wasn't as big of a deal as it is. And I think he made some priority escalation errors here. He should have escalated this. That being said, if I was Ren, I'd fire his ass. Like, this is one you done fucked up big, boy. Like, Sick Boy is probably one of his most notable songs that's out. Not necessarily the most, but one of them. So, it says, I don't understand why your lawyer didn't tell you anything. This is on him. Okay. and looks to have underlined the "I don't know why your lawyer didn't tell you anything." So that's interesting. So that might be something to note that Ren's pointing out. And then it says, was he warned about it? He referring to the lawyer, I assume. The copyright strike. And then the Kujo responds back. He says, dude, my legal rep has been talking to him for months, literally months. Okay. Interesting. It's kind of a back and forth, but then the comment section says that Kujo's lying because he's telling something different in the fucking comment section than he is, but I don't know, man.
The hell,
shady,
cowardly. Anyway, I'm still giving him the benefit of the doubt at this point. Anyway,
right.
Despite this, I feel like he's probably just misinformed, so I still take his side.
Which, to be fair, dude, I feel Ren on this, man. I feel Ren on this because I'm the person to keep on giving an inch, because I don't want to believe that people are that fucked up. And the honest truth is, in my own private thought at home, reflecting on things, I keep on looking at it and I'm like, man, the world's just fucked up. People are really fucked up. I keep on wanting to have trust in people, but then you see shit like this. Or the shit that's happened to me, too. Not that it's as severe as this necessarily, but just saying in my own experience, it seems like I get screwed over a lot because of, being a trusting person like Ren's talking about. So I'll read this while we got it paused. Man, I swear the music business is fucked. I've been knowing this for a minute, but so much in confidence. Whatever the case, rest assured, whatever the split ends up being with publishing after this sample clearance, you will get paid. I'll make sure of it. So don't stress about losing any money. And then he says, love, bro. Thanks for being so open and respectful. Holy fucking two-face, bro. You gonna call him all sorts of shit in the comments. I'm curious to see what kind of two-faced ass comment you have after this, because your character's already done showing, you two-faced as fuck. Cowardly bastard.
On it, and I go on to reassure him he'll get paid his publishing money because I want him to get paid his publishing money. Right. It doesn't affect me in any way. So I was like, yeah, I'll chase it up for you. I let him know that I'm happy to split publishing if there's a bit of a grey area, and I'm kind of reassuring.
I'm gonna double check that. Oh, okay. So the next message says, right, so homie, look, my solution is this. We figure out what percentage this bulk inquirer is wanting from publishing. I have a feeling it's fucking stupidly high. Then we just talk out how to do it fairly, fuck the lawyers. Then I'll go back to them with what we agreed on. I prefer to let, so Kujo says back, he says, I prefer to let my guy at BeatStars handle the legal stuff since I'm not a since I'm a beat maker, not a negotiator. And I have no idea what's fair and what isn't. And then Ren says back, okay, totally fair enough. Kujo, if you'd like, I can give you his contact information. Then you can talk to him directly. And then Ren says, I just want to understand why that isn't clear in the contract.
Anyway, so I was like, yeah, I'll chase it up for you. I let him know that I'm happy to split publishing if there's a bit of a grey area, and I'm kind of reassuring him. It's really important to remember this, by the way, guys, because some of the lies that are posted later make me out to be really unreasonable. So I'm like, yo, if there's some simple. Okay,
he says, this is all Ren. All I want to know, which nobody is telling me, is were you legally obliged to either inform me or clear the sample before I bought it? If yes, you should cover publishing. If no, let's just split the publishing equally on whatever shares left over after the guys chasing the sample have their share. So after that statement, the one thing I'll disagree with Ren on or throw my opinion in on is I would imagine, and I could be totally fucking wrong, because I know jack shit about sample rights and all that shit. But I would imagine liability falls to the person doing the actual sampling. If you're producing a beat and then giving it out, and now I suddenly have to be responsible for every little sample you decide to put in there. I don't know what fucking samples you all put in there. If I'm gonna be responsible for that shit, then you gotta let me fucking know. Otherwise, why the fuck would I sign a contract that says I'm responsible for your sampling? So yeah, Ren's again being very forgiving here, right? Because he's really just trying to solve this the best he can. He's being a much bigger man than I could be. Because I'm an asshole if it came to this point. That's just me. But anyway. So then he says, to me, that's not rocket science, but no one can give me a clear answer. Also, oh, okay, yeah, I get that comment. I mean, that's more along the lines of what I was just saying. Also, what I still totally don't understand is why was there a copyright strike on a YouTube video which has absolutely nothing to do with the publishing, right? Because whether that was you or your representatives, that's a really fucking weird thing to do. That's harmed my own hard work. I don't care about whatever the split ends up being. All I care about is what is legally right or wrong here. So I don't understand why no one can give me an answer. It's so simple to me. Which is right, dude. This dude is playing some psychological warfare shit with you. He's gaslighting the fuck out of you and all sorts of other things to try to make it seem like you're crazy, while meanwhile in the comments he's fucking talking all this mad shit.
Mistake, let's split the publishing, it's cool. I'm happy to do that. Yeah. Anyway, so he comes back to me and lies more. He says, it's always up to the performer to clear the sample. It's not, it's up to the producer.
Bullshit. Sorry. I had to say that because I nope. So Kujo then says, so like I said, on BeatStars, it says there's a sample contained in the beat. It's always up to the performer to clear the sample, but in this case, as you can see, we're willing to make concessions for you to get a fair share. Okay. So that's gotta be a fucking lie, because why the fuck would you do business with people that are using other people's material? Why? Like, honestly, as much fun as it is to use samples, I think it's much better when people are using their own original shit. Unless we're talking like a Rick and Morty sample or a South Park sample or a whatever. You know, like EDM does that shit all the fucking time. I can't imagine how much those guys have to pay for like one little fucking 2-second clip so they can use it in their song. Or if they don't pay it, who the fuck knows? Anyway, but the point is that this royalty shit is just, it's crazy to me. It's really crazy to me how greedy the fucking industry is in general, even outside of labels. And then this dude just clearly like not wanting to take responsibility for the samples he uses. Like this shit's just fucking weird. So anyway, he continues to say, in reply to, I don't understand the copyright strike, he says, I was under the impression that you would have received a warning. I had no idea that the video would be completely taken down. Wow, you don't know shit about YouTube, because even I knew that. And the reason a strike was issued is because your rep was dragging his feet and playing games with us, and it seemed our only possible negotiation tactic to get a response. Keep in mind, we all thought you were in the loop. I've been in this industry for over 7 years, and it's not the first time I've had to deal with this type of situation, so please excuse my lack of faith, or my initial lack of faith. Like, I don't want to sound like a cunt. Well, fuck it. I don't want to sound like a cunt, but if everyone was paying me correctly, I would still be posting on YouTube and BeatStars and making music full time. As it is, I'm working shit jobs, struggling to make ends meet, trying to take my time to make time for music. That's why I joined BeatStars Publishing, so someone would have my back and help me get what I'm owed. Dude, I make comments all the time about, like, granted, I'm no artist. I don't claim to be. I know a little bit about music, and I love listening. So I make my commentary from there, but that's what I'm doing here, dude. That's what going live when I'm doing hiking and sharing little shorts and doing... Dude, I spend so much fucking extra time putting all that shit together. Like, there's no enjoyment in me sharing those. I'm doing it to share pieces of me with y'all. And hoping that using different forms of the platform, shorts, lives, long form, whatever, somehow gets through to YouTube that I'm worth fucking sharing, I guess. I think plenty of people would watch me if they were exposed to me. Not saying I'm everybody's cup of tea by any means, but at this point, based on the responses from the people who have seen me and the people who have subbed up, because none of it's clearly been so much of a inflationary thing based on any one thing that took off, you know, like the MC Abdul stuff and everything else. But not trying to digress too far, but I guess what I'm getting at is, if it was just because of one thing or another, they would have fell right the fuck off. And some fall off and some come back, but right now I'm still growing. And I'll tell you right now, like, as that person who's still growing, Kujo, like, bro, it's a grind. I work minimum 40 hours all year round. Now, I say minimum for a reason, because in the summer, we back off, right? But in the winter, I'm working 60, 70, 80 hours. Most of the time, 70 and 80 hours. Because it's pretty much 7 days straight. Once in a while, I get a day off. But it's 12s, bro. And quite a bit of the time, it's more. Like, don't cry to me about fucking working your ass off, bro. I've been doing that shit since I was fucking... Minimum 22 is when I would say I've been busting my ass. I was on probation. I got myself in trouble. I had to find a 40-hour job, and I started working a fucking $950 an hour job, cut my goddamn finger off at a fucking tire recycling facility. So don't tell me about fucking hustling. Like, you know what I mean? Granted, this text message is obviously to Ren, but I'm just saying, like, in general, if he wants to sit here and act like, oh, woe is me, man, fuck you. We all gotta grind. Such is fucking life. It sucks. Get over it. Anyway, so back to the text messages here. 100% agree with you. I've emailed the lawyer, I assume, the one we're keeping out of this, asking him to get back to you directly ASAP. And we've been dealing with this situation for months, and I hate to see this hurting your art, so yeah. I also want to wrap this up immediately and get your song back online. Well, Kujo, here's the other thing about getting a song taken down. You done fucked yourself, because guess what? Every bit of fucking profit in this amount of time since you've had that taken down, and it's probably going to be permanently down now. Every cent that could have been made in this time. And that's a huge fucking video. You lost yourself all the percentage of that. You're a fucking idiot.
But unless there's been a conversation. But in this case, as you can see, we're willing to make concessions for you to get your fair share. So actually, it's me making the concessions here, because he sold a stolen sample. And I'm like, you know what? You can still have some publishing split, right?
Right.
So like, I'm actually being the one that's been quite reasonable here. And he's flipped on his head like, we'll be good to you. You know?
Yeah, right.
But I've done nothing wrong in this situation. Anyway, I was like... and then he says, I was under the impression you would have received a warning. I had no idea that the video would be completely taken down. Another lie, as you'll see soon. he and his lawyer agreed to take this video down as a form of leverage. It was our only possible negotiation tactic to get a response. Maybe message me. They're scratching their head. How can we get a response? Okay, we'll take his video down, issue a copyright strike, which also I didn't actually violate the contract. Not intentionally.
I mean, if we're giving him the benefit of the doubt, like I said, I'm not usually one to give as much leeway as Ren has. But if we're to give the benefit of the doubt, I'm sitting here like, okay, I can kind of see how you would be worried about going around the lawyers because you open yourself up to possibly getting yourself in trouble by direct communication. But I mean, this seems like an issue that never had to go through lawyers. This seems like something you guys could have easily talked it out. But the problem is, the reason why he doesn't want to talk it out is because he doesn't actually have the rights.
So, the only possible tactic, dude, message me. Send me an email. Like, you've messaged me before to tell me that you love my work. So, like, send me an email about this. Anyway, he says he also wants to wrap it up immediately and get the song back online. Another lie, as you will see later on, because he decides to stick to his guns and use the video as leverage. Anyway, the plot thickens. I get an email from their lawyer, and I'm not going to share it in case they start claiming I'm sharing things I'm not supposed to. But I get an email, and it says, on top of the publishing split, they want a £3,000 payment, right? They want a 15% retroactive split of the master, which has nothing to do with publishing, which means like 15% of everything the song has ever made since it came out. Retroactively, so since it's come out to this moment and then into the future. When I've paid for an unlimited sample, unlimited license beat, and with that you're talking money from record sales, you're talking money from streaming things, you're talking all of that when they haven't put any effort into promoting the song. He's made a beat and he's stolen part of the beat, and he wants 15% of everything the song has ever made for that, plus a £3,000 advance. Out of principle, I wasn't going to give him that. But because like I may have been slightly open to negotiations if they hadn't used the song as leverage and actually treated me like a decent person. I hadn't put like lies about the situation, right? But nah, out of principle, I wasn't going to agree to that. And also to clarify, when I've been in rooms with producers and we've made a song from scratch, I've done a lot of like 50-50 splits, or I've done like 25-75, or with other collaborated artists, we just agree on a split that's like 50-50, 25. So, you know, like 15% isn't outrageous, right? What's outrageous is that they already sold it with an unlimited license right from the get-go. So you go into BeatStars thinking, I'm buying an unlimited license for this much money, right? And I was broke at the time when I bought that beat. So it's like you go into the situation buying something, and then later on down the line it can come back and sting you if they go, oh, this slight thing, well, we found a loophole here, which means that now you owe us all this money, right? So it's like, it was kind of unfair, because say you buy a painting off somebody for £10, and then the price of it rises exponentially because maybe the painter dies or something, or he becomes really popular. You don't then just go back to the person you sold it to and go, oh, that painting's worth like 20 times more now, give me a bit more money for it, because the transaction's been done. And that's kind of how I felt about the BeatStars thing. It wasn't about me losing money, it was about the principle of like, we've stepped into this agreement, and I was in full faith thinking I was buying an unlimited sample, but that's unlimited license, sorry, but that's not actually what's happened, is it? Right? And it says that if I don't agree to this, they're within their right to claim 100% of the song because I have breached something in the contract, right? Now, this is what I breached. Apparently...
sorry. Slacking. My bad. Alright, Ren says in this whole blurb, yo, man, your guy saying you should be owed 100% is crazy. The amount of work I put into the video and the promotion of that song, like, there wouldn't have been any money to be fighting for in the first place if I hadn't pushed it the way I did. I'm not sure why you can't see it, but your lawyer is being a shark. The fact he wants a bigger split of the master on top of me paying you $3,000 and having an equal publishing split after third party after I paid for the track already nuts. I'm really sorry to have to go this route, dude, but if he doesn't budge on this, we're gonna have to take it to court, and I'm gonna have to put out a statement about the whole thing. I don't really want to see what other option. Yeah, wow. I don't really see what other option I have, because I really shouldn't be paying $3,000 plus losing an additional 25% of the mastering, and even more on the master after all the work I put into this is insanity to me. If we had shared an equal cost of making the music video, promoting the track, building a career, selling the record, sure, but you're talking like tens of thousands of dollars and months of work there, and I'm not asking you for that. I get that you made the beat, but I actually put a fair bit of work into the arrangement and writing and vocals after the fact, which you can clearly hear. So just that alone, like, I'll kind of throw feedback on this. Like, Ren is being extremely modest here. A fair bit of work, like, that is drastically humbling himself. But then, beyond that, spent so much of my own money to even make the track successful after years and years of building a following who meant there was even an audience for this in the first place. I want you to be paid for your work, but dude, this is insanity. Surely you can see that. Threats to claim 100% of the song from your lawyer is kind of insulting after I offer to pay you money out of my own pocket. I've been super respectful about this whole thing, but it's really getting too far now. Which is true, man. Like I said, people are listening for the artist. The beats are cool and all. I love when basses is banging and shit like that. Like, props to y'all. But without the artist, you're nothing. Without the beat, they go a cappella. Nobody's ever heard an artist go as big as a vocal artist. You know what I mean? EDM's like one of those unique things, but still, even Excision's not as big as some of the biggest vocal artists. See what I'm saying?
In the contract, right? Now, this is what I breached. Apparently, Content ID was turned on the track, okay, on YouTube. As you'll see from my earlier on in this video, I actually specifically requested Content ID was turned off, and my YouTube guide did turn it off. There has been something to do with the distribution where somewhere along the line, even after I specifically requested this, it may have gotten turned on at some point, right? Where this doesn't actually make any money, which we've got proof of, because I actually let reactors, I let content creators.
I can speak to that. Thank you, Ren. Really appreciate you for that. Like, no fucking joke. Mad respect. As big as you are, there has not been a single question about me getting the rights to literally every single track. I just realized my Sick Boy video probably got taken down and I didn't even know it. I'm gonna have to check that. Fuck! I'm gonna have to download that shit so I can get the fucking thing and not lose it. Damn. That's shitty.
Monetize their own videos where they're reacting to my songs. I've done this since the start because I believe that everyone should get paid. It helps promote me. I'm not losing out. Everyone's a winner. A rising tide lifts all ships, baby. So,
dude, seriously, like, you're amazing for that.
I'm like, they're using this as leverage, but legally, but thus is the world. They actually had something to lean on.
Like, man, I gotta speak out to this some more. Like, truly, I gotta give Ren credit here. Like, dude, all you've been through in life, the amount that we've learned about you, and I'm certainly not the Ren expert here, but I feel like I've learned a lot about you since I first checked out Animal Flow. But I mean, dude, the amount that your fans have learned about you and the amount that you've gone through, and most people would have been hardened, would have been you know, less humanity and everything else. Like, fuck these dudes. Like, I've gone through all this shit. Like, I deserve my right. You know, that kind of shit. There's plenty of people like that out here, right? And you're over here like, nah, man. Like, hey, let the reactors get some. Let the producers get some. You're sharing the wealth because you're appreciative of where you're at. And you're trying to help everybody else get further as much as you can. And that's so fucking dope, dude. I wish more artists did that. Now, there are quite a few, don't get me wrong, but not so many that are as big as you. And like I said, mad respect for that, sir. You're the second major artist to make a big point of that. Outside of like Upchurch is the first one that I mentioned, and that's, yeah, dude, that's just so fucking cool.
With that, so they were like, look, if you don't agree to these terms, 15% retroactive master split, this share on publishing, and a £3,000 advance against the master, we're going to take 100% of what you own. At this point, I'm obviously pretty annoyed. Which is pretty understandable, right? Anyway, at this point, they've got...
Like, how do you... This is like the lawyers trying to take, like, a hostile takeover of a song. Like, you a damn good lawyer if you manage that. Like, I'm pretty sure the badass fucking lawyers I know couldn't even manage that shit. Like, what the fuck legal grounds would you have to stand on?
Got my attention, so there's no reason they need to use the video for Sick Boy as leverage, right? So I give them a fair warning. I'm like, mate, if you don't put the video back up on Friday, I'm going to have to put a public post explaining why it's down. And I give him a fair warning, which is also important to remember, because later on he plays the victim, saying that I've put a post encouraging my fans to bully him, which I didn't. I gave him a fair warning about it. And
yo, that's the exact same strategy that anti-Upchurch people use. Upchurch sent his crew after us. Stop being a whiny little bitch.
Never once encouraged them to bully him. I just needed to explain why my video...
Us fans, I'll speak for Ren fans as much as Upchurch fans, and I think majority of these fans that are responding, that are being mean, whatever, would say this: Ren has not sent us. Upchurch has not sent us as Creek Squad. Like, we are witnessing what the fuck is going on, and we are saying this is fucking bullshit. What are you gonna do? Come and sue all of us? Ha 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 ha! Good luck.
Was down, because this was proper stressing me out, and I feel like I didn't want to be silenced about the whole situation. But the time comes around, I put the post out, and I'm always still thinking for like a positive solution here. So I have like a brainwave of like, oh, I've got a brilliant solution, right? So I approach him and I'm like, dude, look, I know that things got complicated here, but out of principle, I don't really want to budge on the master split for this thing, but I've got a much better idea. Because a lot of my fan base are like now giving him, because I put the public post out, a lot of my fan base are giving him grief, and I'm like, you know what, I want this guy's life to get ruined because of this. Like, despite how frustrated it's made me, I don't want this guy to get ruined. I don't want him to get abused.
Was that a different... God damn it.
So I approach him.
Oh shit, okay. I think this is more. So he says, I might have a creative solution. I don't believe in looking back, and if I have to re-record all these tracks with BeatStars and this ends up being a war, it's going to be a real pain in the ass. The issue here, as I see it, is you feel you have been treated unfairly by this whole publishing situation. I agree. Ren, I understand the tactics you're using here, but Jesus Christ, man, you're working with people here. Holy shit. I feel I've been treated really unfairly by the fact my own video I poured myself into is being used as leverage, and that the original agreement isn't honored because someone who wasn't even me fucked up, when it's only me who gets stung financially. So basically, both of us have been fucked here, right? How about this? We figure out how to make this right with the publishing for Sick Boy. I got an amazing way to get you a fuckload more public sympathy and support, make money and subscribers, and cut out all the greedy middlemen. Because people are already so emotional about this, at the heart of this is that you are a sick producer and I am successful because I pour myself into this shit, right? We make a track together, independent of BeatStars, independent of anyone else, simple contract, 50-50 split, something that bangs, and the narrative to put out publicly that it is a middle finger to the industry. You don't have to be so vocal about that part because I don't want you to damage your relationship with your distribution platform. What's that going to do? What that's going to do is turn all this frustration my fans have at the situation into a lot of public support. You're going to be seen as a champ for doing the right thing and get a bunch of new subs and clients. I can breathe knowing I'm not going through all this fucking bullshit anymore, and we can have a banging song that will make us both cash. Yeah, man. Again, you're being way too nice, but you're a fucking genius, because I'll tell you, like, had he responded back to that, fuck yeah, man, let's do it, we're done, fuck it, bro, that would have been a surplus mindset, not a scarcity mindset. And I'm gonna assume he didn't, because this video was out. You went from, you would have probably had all of us fans going none the wiser, all of us fans going, we thought Kujo was shit, but Ren did another song, like, this dude's dope. Congrats. You probably sealed your own grave with this one.
And I'm like, dude, look, I know that things got complicated here, but out of principle, I don't really want to budge on the master split for this thing, but I've got a much better idea. Because a lot of my fan base are like, now giving him, because I put the public post out, a lot of my fan base are giving him grief, and I'm like...
Okay, so he says, really think hard about it. Also, if we draft a contract, it'll be super simple. 50 on publishing, 50 on master. I'm going to tell my publishers because of this situation, I don't want them touching it at all. We'll make sure everything is registered legit. Hell, even just drop it through a distributor like TuneCore, so we both know the splits are there from the get-go, so it's being paid direct from them to us, so that there can be no doubt where we're making money. Okay, we are making money on it. Sorry, without the apostrophe, my brain hit error. But the best outcome of that situation is you get literally tens of thousands of people that will be championing you on that, which even after tens of thousands, probably over 100,000, dude. Again, Ren being fucking modest, bro. Ren being modest about his fucking fan base. Which even after the cash from the streams would have a huge positive knock-on effect. Literally, the only thing I want in return for all that is that we stick to the principle of the original agreement. Whatever happened with this Content ID thing that has nothing to do with stream count or how big the song has gotten, I looked over the contract carefully, and no matter how many streams that song gets, the contract would have stayed the same. In an absolutely ideal world, I'd love to take that contract out of the hands of BeatStars too, so whatever happens with the publishing goes directly to you, but I'm not sure what the score is there with your agreements with them. Also, the 50 split on the master of the new song is to show you this was never about money for me. It was about the right thing. I think if we work on a fucking insane beat, delivery, the new one could potentially be even bigger than Sick Boy, especially with how charged people are over this now.
You know what? want this guy's life to get ruined because of this. Like, despite how frustrated it's made me.
Well, it's gonna get ruined.
I didn't want him to get abused about it. I just wanted to get the song back. That was the thing. So like, I sent him a message. I'm like, dude, look, I thought of a thing because I am a man of principle. I didn't want to bend to threats and stuff about the song being claimed 100%. So I'm like, I've got a much better idea. Let's make a song. We'll split it 50-50 down the middle. Master, publishing, everything. A song from scratch. Then if we do that way, it'll be like a fuck you to the industry. Yeah, you and me on a track. You'll make way more money this way because it's 50-50. You'll also get my fan base on your side. It's going to be a great thing because I'm always like, I want to look forward. I don't want to look backwards. I don't want to look at all these things that happened in the past. I'm like, this is actually going to make him even more. And he rejected it. He turned it.
Okay, so he says right back, I find it hard to envision working on another song until this current situation is sorted. I work another job on the side, so I really don't have time to read through all this right now and give you a satisfactory answer at the moment. I will reiterate that all I want is a fair conclusion for both of us. I don't want to bleed you dry or ask for anything that I am not owed. I respect you and what you have accomplished with your work. I have always treated every artist I have ever worked with more than fairly. Now, Ren's underlining these things because I assume he has proof that he then proves otherwise in other circumstances. And I've always asked independent artists, who granted have a much bigger challenge, for less than my due. Dragging this out only truly profits your lawyer, since my representative is employed by BeatStars, not directly by me. Complications and misunderstandings only profit your lawyer, not you or me or anyone on my team. This whole situation is hurting you and your image because you have so much more to lose than me, so I wish we could have kept this private. Ah, sir, you forget how well we know Ren. I feel for you, Ren. I really do. God, you're such a... Fuck, you're a crazy dude. I think it's fair also to say that the details of these negotiations far surpass our comprehension, as we are merely artists and have no background in law. So what he's trying to say is he wants to manipulate common sense, right? That's why I'm letting blank advise me on this. So that's referring to his distribution guy. I've been fucked by a lot of people in this industry, and that's why I joined BeatStars Sony Publishing. Oh, that's what that is. I need, or maybe he's saying end Sony, I don't know. I need someone on my side who fully understands how this all works, and they have only ever been fair and honest with me in every matter. Seren replies, read through my proposition, it massively benefits you. And he replies to one of the first statement, this situation doesn't hurt my image at all. This is massively gaslighting. Good call, Ren. Fucking intelligent motherfucker. I love you. I love you, man. You finally calling it out exactly. Like, dude's been fucking with you hard. Tell me which one of these statements wasn't a lie. Bro, straight the fuck up.
Down, which I still think to this day is a bit of a silly move given what happened and what happened next, but it's a shame, man. And if you're watching this, you really should have taken that. I'm sure you are watching it. You really should have taken that deal. It was brilliant. Not only would it set you up with way more money, which is obviously what you most care about.
Well, because you're broke as fuck is what it sounds like, and you're desperate, and you're trying to get whatever pennies you can out of Rem because your ass is probably close to filing bankruptcy because you're acting like a little bitch. But anyway, now you have a song with your name on it called the Kujo Beatdown instead of a collab. Let that sink in.
About in this situation, but it also got loads of my fans on your side, which would also set you up for all things that you release independently as well, and you would come out this looking good.
Mm-hmm.
Shame. I offered you that olive branch. I offered quite a few olive branches on numerous occasions, which you weren't interested in. Then after that, there's a post on Instagram saying that
Yeah, this is the one thing I love about how humble and how nice and how forgiving Ren has been through this whole process. Because when he finally hit his breaking point, he's starting to become like me. He's starting to go, okay, bro, you don't want to play? Well, I guess you're going to see my bad side now. I'm going to run your ass into the dirt. Have fun.
I've stolen samples from people, which is bizarre because I never have. So I send him a message.
Okay, so he says, if you're talking about my last track, the Vera Hall sample's cleared. That's Bittersweet Symphony, I do believe. Other than that, which track? Because all of the tracks I've made are all my own beats and recordings. If you're talking about my last track, the Vera... Okay, he added to that statement. Receipts, it's even online on a public database. True. So Ren also replied I'm done fighting with you. I'm open to negotiating fairly, all that. He says, I'm not talking shit. Everything I've said comes from this conversation, which is why I've said many times you're welcome to share it. And then Ren says, also, if you're talking about any online retakes, I've actually had props from the artists they're sampled from, and they get revenue share on the videos. But nice reach, man. When you finally get to be condescending back and do everything they've been doing to you, it's so fucking satisfying. So, when did my guy say it wasn't true? He replies, it isn't true, brother. It's not on the buyer to clear the sample unless it's contractually stated, which is only sensical.
It's been like, he said that a British artist has got in touch with him and been like, Ren steal samples, which is obviously complete made up bullshit, right? Yeah. So I messaged him about that. I'm like, what samples have I stolen? The Vera Hall one that I just put out, totally cleared. We cleared that with publishing company because I actually don't like steal my samples. And then any covers that I've done, they're just on YouTube. You're allowed to do that because there's a cover license on YouTube. So like, what are you talking about? To which he then just like ignores it.
Creative Commons, I believe, is something like that. I think is what he's talking about.
Takes the post down and then like, and then just goes on some other fucking tangent. So it's like kind of grasping at straws here to make me look like the bad guy. So we arranged to have this call with the lawyers and Kujo, and I'm actually really excited to have the call because it's the first time I can talk to Kujo face to face, deal with this like grown-ups, like adults, and talk to each other. But it's not how it pans out. So we get on the call, and the first thing that happens is the lawyer just says, look, Ren, I think that you taking this public was very unprofessional. And I was like, hold on a second, I wasn't the person who took this public. First of all, like, taking the video down is an aggressive move, and also I didn't take it public. First of all, Kujo was commenting countless things on his YouTube before I even make the comment, calling me a liar, a coward, a numb. So like, to say that I took this public, nah, I just responded to what happened and explained to my fans why the song was down. Those posts are still up for everyone to see. All the posts on his comments are still there for everybody to see. So first of all, it was kind of like, we got into it straight away with me like having to be like, I put it straight and everyone was like, okay, yeah, fair enough. The funniest thing about that call is Kujo was on it. He did not say a single word. Even when I like addressed him with questions, his lawyer would interject and go, I can answer that. And I'm like, yeah, I kind of want to talk to the person who's
like, yeah, you can answer that. Hang on, buddy. I didn't ask you, did I?
Like, like an adult, I want to talk to this person. And then my lawyer there's even a moment where my lawyer's like, look, I want to address this question to Kujo. Do you actually feel like this situation is fair? He says nothing, and the lawyer interjects again. So for that whole call, which, took about half an hour, 40 minutes, he didn't say a single word. And I thought that was disrespectful, given the circumstances. He later claimed that it was because he doesn't legally know enough and it should be between the lawyers. But no, man. Like,
it should only be between the lawyers like that shit, man. Like, in something that's so cut and dry like this, it should only be between the lawyers when one side is clearly trying to fuck the other, like massively. The side being Kujo, the one staying silent, which is staying silent because he doesn't want to fuck anything up that the lawyer's trying to get him. So he said, you didn't say a single sentence on the call, not one. And he says, that's because I let the professionals handle business like an adult. And Ren goes, man-child, bro. Yeah, you handled that like an adult, Kujo. You called him a man-child.
Regardless of your legal knowledge, we can still have a conversation like adults. Like, I'm not here to try and like intimidate or anything like that. I want to talk to you like a grown-up, brother. And that didn't happen. I wasn't afforded that luxury. I was talking a fair bit on that call about how I felt about the situation and what I felt was right. And I also said on that call that I didn't think that a retroactive split was right, because of all the reasons I've mentioned. But it is what it is, man. And then we came off the call, and I felt pretty let down by it, to be honest. This is where the plot gets even more ridiculous. And I'm sorry this is a long video, guys, but this is mad. And this is
and I'm sorry this is an even longer video. I applaud y'all if you're watching to this point. I literally only recorded this for y'all, and I waited to watch this video for y'all in case you wanted my comments on it. Misty, I'm guessing you're probably the only one that's watched this whole thing. But hey, if anybody else did, awesome. Throw it in the comments. I'd love to hear it from you. But yeah, dude, I'm only doing this because I figured maybe one or two people actually get some interest out of this. I waited quite a while to finally have some time to be able to sit down and record my reaction to this because I had my opinions just based on titles.
This is emotionally exhausting, this bit. So I read a bunch of comments on Instagram from this person talking about the contract, saying things that aren't actually in the contract. I'm like, who the f is this? So I message him and be like, yo, by the way, you're misinformed. The contract actually doesn't state that it's on me to clear the samples. Then I click on the profile, I realise that it's Kujo's girlfriend, so I immediately unsend all those messages. Because to be honest, look, he was getting grief from my fans, and I think to myself, you know what? He needs someone supporting him, even though that he's been an arsehole. I don't want to like start messaging his girlfriend and shit, whatever. I'll leave her out of this. But she sees that I've unsent the messages, and she instigates the conversation, says, have you done an oopsie? We start chatting for a long time. We'll put those messages up so that you can read it. It actually ends up...
Oh, damn, bro. Your girl is about to incriminate your ass by saying shit she shouldn't say, huh? This is no bueno. How the fuck can I get this gone?
It seems...
God, I'm gonna have to rewind it just a hair, and you guys are gonna have to re-listen to some of this because... I need that shit to clear. Oh, wait. That's too much. Sorry. Okay. So the original looks like you did an oopsie. Ren said, yeah, I didn't realize you knew Kujo personally. I was trying to explain myself fairly, but I have no interest in affecting any of his personal relationships. Bravo, bro. Professional as fuck the way you responded. Only took me a second to figure out on your profile. Not interested in fucking up the dude's life. I just want the situation fairly resolved. I'm not interested in him being screwed over for publishing at all. I too have been a struggling producer for ages. It's only the past 2 years things have been blowing up. But I do want to get a video. I poured my heart into and soul into back online and figure out how Kujo can get his publishing money ASAP. And that seems like you were fair.
We start chatting for a long time. We'll put those messages up so that you can read it.
Listen, I hear you. I understand you were taken aback. Hang on. Taken aback. Any of this. Oh, and had no idea of any of this, what's going on. I also know what it's like to pour your heart out and soul. Good God, I keep on filling words, sorry. Like to pour your heart and soul into a song. I tried so hard to emphasize with you that, but that all died when you made your public statements. I can understand you informing your community of the status of the Sick Boy music video, however, inciting them to go harass him while deforming things that were said, done to villainize him, painting him as this scheming, greedy, envious character when that couldn't be the furthest from the truth, pretending he only came after you because the track is successful, saying that he's asking for more than he's owed, saying he's uncooperative, and implying he's not willing to do anything about it. Those are all lies that you fed your community, and we both know it. She seems cocky. I know that all the deceitful people in this industry can make any person paranoid, but he is not out to get you. He has a very strongly anchored sense of justice, and I can assure you he has never meant to step on any toes. You tell your fans you expected him to at least come to you directly. Hasn't he told you that he was 100%? He was 100% sure you were fully involved in the conversation in the first place, especially when this has been going on for months. I've seen how he handles himself around artists. Anyone that has ever worked with him has praised him for his flexibility, kindness, integrity. He has undercharged or even offered beats to smaller artists plenty of times because he truly cares about the art above anything. Or everything, sorry. You say you're an underdog, yet you stage this public humiliation thing on your and his channel. Almost like you're calling the accused in a trial where the jury is made up only of your devoted fans. What are you trying to accomplish? Who the fuck do you think you are? Do you hope that thousands of people denigrating him, shitting on his every accomplishments, threatening him will somehow bring you justice? You're talking about receipts and encouraging him to come forward and face the wrath of your community, expecting what exactly? Is this really who you are as a person, how you operate? It's distasteful and deep. It's just... Okay, she put a period there, so I'm going to correct her sentence. It's distasteful and deeply unethical. I'll give you credit because I can tell you're speaking out of anger, but you at least kept it together. Your love is definitely clouding your fucking vision, though. Goddamn.
It seems to me like it's like...
Okay, so she says, why do you not see him as your kin, a slightly out-of-place ADHD artist trying his best to make a living, assuming he had ill intent from the get-go is extremely detrimental to the resolution of things. Try to see his side truly. Okay, I want to pause here for a second. This is not the first time I've heard people publicly use ADHD as like some sort of fucking crutch. I'm seriously fucking tired of it. You will garner absolutely no fucking sympathy from me on that. And you know why? Because I have it. Like, I don't talk about things, but like, I literally am diagnosed with it. Like, and I dealt with it for years and years and years untreated because I was afraid of the judgment of society. And I've literally said nothing about it to this point. I've told a friend here or there, but like, I don't play the woe is me bullshit with it. I've gotten through it, so go fuck off with your bullshit. Now back to the messages. And in your distress, you are oh so fortunate that Kujo isn't all the things you said. Sorry, it's struggling to fucking read lies like this. Jesus Christ. You're lucky that he's deeply kind and has integrity, because to be honest, if you drag my name through the mud like that, I wouldn't have been so patient. I'm sorry that I'm losing my fucking temper, but I'm absolutely furious. No, couldn't tell. I mean, your language is literally falling apart as you talk. I was giving you props on the last screen, and now you're fucking falling the fuck apart. His lawyer, not even him, his lawyer, with his own willpower, suggested that he could be entitled to 100% of the earnings, and you publicly turned that into. Kujo said he wants 100% of the earnings, when he specifically said he didn't want that and didn't think that was fair at all. Well, if he doesn't think it's fucking fair, then he better kick his lawyer in the fucking balls, because I would never let a lawyer say that on my behalf if I don't fucking agree with it. Period. Anyway. Blank, I understand why you're mad. Oh, he's using her name. I got you. You're mad, which is why I deleted my messages. I think you're perfectly justified to defend him. I've been fucked over so many times in this industry, so to have something that close to me held hostage as leverage has been gutting. I wish he had just come to me months ago. My lawyer should have too. The blank, and I already told them I don't want to work with them anymore. Interesting. I'm not even going to play hypothetical there, because I have a feeling I know what it is, and there's a reason he blanked it out. So I'm going to leave it. I'd have never publicly posted until I saw messages from Kujo on his YouTube saying this was basically all my lawyer's fault and that I was somehow bending the truth. At that point, I had said nothing to my fans. They only found the video because the copyright strike came directly from his channel. Oh, okay. Which actually, to be fair, I bet you if I backtrack my Sick Boy video, which once I hit play, I think that's what I'm going to do here. But I bet you my Sick Boy video probably has a copyright strike from Kujo right about now. Which I suppose I can fight to go fuck him over. Just because I can be a dick. Let's have fun. Anyway. Where are we at? Okay. I got upset when he sent me messages saying it was industry standard and anyone who buys a beat has to cover the licensing, because it felt super gaslighting. I know it wasn't true, and he's still sticking to his guns on it. Yeah, I'm gonna call bullshit.
Semi-amicable after a while of talking to each other.
Okay, here's the next set of messages. Before I made any kind of post, I offered money. Offered to split publishing. Told him I'd chase my publisher. But that I really just wanted my video back. I was getting literally hundreds of messages asking where the video was, and it was upsetting. Then, when I saw those comments, he wrote basically shifting all the blame onto the lawyer. I snapped. Look, I'm sure there's truth in what you're saying about his character. I'm not sure if he can see it, but what his lawyer is pushing him to do isn't fair. He's asking for $3,000 out of my pocket when the problem was the publisher's fault. The fault of Kujo selling a beat he shouldn't have, and the fault of everyone not telling me this frustration was going on. And then all of a sudden I wake up and one of the most streamed videos is blocked in my channel that I work really hard on. It has a copyright strike when I know nothing about this. Then on top of that, I try and resolve it until I'm gonna get him every penny he's owed, and the lawyer turns around and says they want even more than that. I get he's angry because of waiting so long, trust me, but I was in brain damage treatment, dude. I literally got home 2 weeks ago. to all this chaos. I had no idea the situation was even happening. I tried to deal with it really amicably, and even said I'd pay him cash if the people claiming the sample put their foot down and didn't budge. But then posting stuff about me in the comments when I was trying to be calm about the fact that my video was removed just really rubbed me the wrong way. There's still a right way to sort this, but it's between me and Kujo. Both our lawyers are inflating this whole situation. I've offered an olive branch so many times, I'm not interested in financially fucking him over at all.
Like, you can pause this and read this if you want.
I'm sorry to reiterate, but I really think the people on your side should have. It was their responsibility since they're working for you, bruh. Good God, she must be a youngin'. And yes, I realize I say bruh, but for a female to say bruh is just kind of weird. Yeah, they should have. I told them this too. They said they think I didn't need it because of brain damage treatment, which I understand. Can understand the thought process, but they kind of still fucked up. But for it to escalate to this is so mad. I feel for you, Ren, truly. I won't lie. I'm still mad about all the people you sent his way. I understand acting impulsively and emotionally. I have ADHD too. Also, it's your life's work. Wow, you gaslighting little cunt. I'm gonna have to pause for a second. Alright, sorry. Your boy needed nicotine. I'm back. Anyway. I had been holding off anyway, so it's not like that pissed me off that bad. I just made that outburst out of purpose. Quite honestly. Like, I'm not covering for myself at all. I don't care if I call somebody a cunt, because she is. But I just hate when people gaslight like that. And then, yet again, we're using the crutch that is ADHD. Bro, it's possible to deal with it without help. It really is. And to treat somebody like they're a lesser person because of it, bro, fuck you. Like, seriously, Kujo, your girl is a piece of shit. Just like you. Alright, so back to the text. But the copyright strike should have never happened, especially because the publishing situation is muddied so much by the publishing mistake on your boyfriend's part. True. We both think it was very uncool. He lost trust in you when you did that. It felt like a low blow. Oh, the posting on the... I got you. Making it public is what she's claiming is a low blow. Okay. So I lost my trust when I saw his comments. That's why I reacted. That was literally the thing. Actually, promise, I woke up, went on the video, and read a comment that really drove me nuts. Because I felt we had some common ground. Oh, wrong page.
It's like, basically the long and short of it is like, she feels like Kujo's been misrepresented.
And then he says, she says, I don't know, maybe if you knew about this all along, you could have actively participated in negotiations and maybe reached a point of agreement and avoided the copyright strike and all that ensued. If I were you, I'd be furious at my lawyer for keeping me out of it. I understand the brain surgery means a lot of downtime, but this has been going on for so long. Yeah, you're a dramatizing little cunt. We were absolutely flabbergasted to learn you had no idea. That's how unbelievable it is to us. Stop gaslighting, you. God damn, bro. He's not asking for money from your pocket, but maybe your publishers are insured in case they messed up that bad. The whole money contract situation seems beyond both of you, to be fully honest. I'm not being insulting there, but I agree with you that talking through lawyers is the easiest way to get drowned into law jargon and protocols and other bullshit. First of all, you're gaslighting. Second of all, you're making this about label type bullshit. This is why people hate labels. And third of all, humans in general can communicate amongst each other. We do not need other humans to complicate things. We don't need other humans to increase costs. We don't need other everything in this situation that they're trying to pull is just so overinflated, and this all goes back to like label style thinking. It's so fucking retarded. And that's not just capitalism. Like, there is a healthy way we can do capitalism. But this is just extortion. So, I actually am on the same page there. They're asking for 15% on the mastering right, and I said the publishers should absorb that cost. I've already propositioned that. I have proof of this too. I want you guys to know I'm actively trying to find a fair solution here. I'm not trying to fuck him over, but I also think it's really unfair how it's being dealt with, because it seems like everyone fuck up but mine. So yeah, I have been really emotional about it. Now, what I will say, no offense, Ren, is I can completely understand in that situation how the statement of everyone's fuck up but mine, I understand your feeling. I get that. And you're right to say that, from what I see. But that is definitely, I've been caught up in this so many times where people are like, oh, you won't take your responsibility. But in this case, I don't feel like Ren has any responsibility to take. So I'm just throwing that out there that I do recognize that part. So she says, he's been fucked over too, so bad, you know, a dude he used to work with stole his beats, claimed credit, and is making money from his hard work to this day. Everyone is traumatized with trust issues in this industry, it seems. And then Ren says, the industry is fucked.
Presented
True.
And feels like it's a lot of the industry.
I'm a smart cookie and I understood it's the price for the exclusive lease. I'm willing to give $3,000, he says, as like recoup on the master split if my publisher admit their fuck up and absorb the 15%. I don't know how Blank calculated that amount. I don't think it should come from you. I agree. So the representative for Kujo, I assume. I'm not sure either. I don't know why people keep telling me I need to pay $3,000. That rubbed me the wrong way. But also, dude, if they pushed for 15% on the master with a back payment, which wasn't in the original contract, that's so much money, and so much money has gone into promoting this record. I'm happy to do it if it's moving forward, but that's a different thing. Because if it's back paid, I lose out a lot here over leverage. It doesn't feel good to me. If it's money that's made moving forward, okay, cool, but honestly, Blank. What I'd rather do is scrap the contract with the Beat platform. I forgot the name. And BeatStars, maybe. And just draw up a simple one between me and Blank. Okay? That gives him 15% and whatever publishing. I can assume who that's for, but he blanked it out for a reason.
You've got my lawyer's fault and stuff like that, which is kind of what Kujo feels like, right? She then threatens to break my kneecaps, which, even though it's...
If I take it public, I'll make sure your boyfriend doesn't get grief, okay? Even though I don't feel like he's being dealt with... He's dealt with this perfectly, but I know you feel the same about me. Leave him out of this if you do, please. And he says, look, Or else I'm flying to London and breaking your kneecaps. LOL. Yeah, that's funny. An illegal situation to joke about. Mob style tactics. Jesus. I mean, I get how somebody can say that, but yeah, poor taste. I have nothing to gain crushing a producer's career.
It's a little bit out of pocket. You know me, I laugh about it. The thing that rubs me up about things like that is if that had been the other way around, I never actually once got violent about this situation. If that had been the other way around, they would have been like, Ren's such a violent. Later on, they would have been like, Ren's such a violent person or using bully tactics, because they've spoken about like how I'm using bully tactics by simply talking about the situation publicly, transparently. She also gaslights me by saying, you know, like, imagine what would have happened.
I can tell, bro, I'm like that too, okay? But shit, bro, this could have ended very fucking badly, and you know it. I know the last thing I wanted. We don't even have to go there, but I know, okay? I understand, though. You're your own PR team, so it's bound to get a bit messy. No, I don't mean that as in a trial. Dude, okay, let me just explain. But imagine if blank had issues. Some people have committed suicide over this. Wow! Gaslight the fuck out of him!
Happened if he had mental health issues. I have a very long list of mental health issues. I am the person with mental health issues. You're not considering what it does to my mental health either when you take down a song that means that much to me. A song that I've poured into, that I'm exposing a part of me that's very vulnerable about my health journey. Like, you're not considering that, are you? All I've done is post publicly about the situation. I've never told anybody to send you guys abuse or anything like that. And actually, if anybody's watching this right now, for clarity, even though I am very annoyed about the situation, I don't want anyone to send them abuse. I don't. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I'm annoyed about the situation, but it's done now. The song's down. It's gone. Do you know what I mean? So, like, I'm not trying to ruin somebody's life over this. I'll have my own form of revenge, as you'll see at the end of this video. But I'm not trying to ruin anyone's life over this. So, like, if they say to me that I'm trying to incentivize stuff like that, I'm not, guys. I don't want you to go and abuse them, right? But it is up to me to talk about this situation fairly. So, like...
Alright, guys. At this point, I think I'm going to pause. At time of recording, we're getting towards my bedtime here, and I gotta work tomorrow, so... I'm gonna get back to this. I'll probably wrap this up at some point, but... Anyway. Alright, and we're back, so we're just going to jump right back into it.
List of mental health issues. I am the person with mental health issues. You're not considering what it does to my mental health, are you, when you take down a song that means that much to me? A song that I've poured into, that I'm exposing a part of me that's very vulnerable about my health journey. Like, you're not considering that, are you? All I've done is...
I mean, let's be fair. I think... when people are doing stuff like this, they're looking to tear others down. Especially with this two-faced type shit and whatnot. Like, I truly think this was done maliciously. And yes, I realize I'm rewound quite a bit, but I'm playing catch up and making some commentary next day here. And yeah, man, that's one thing I notice here is like, yeah. I just don't understand people in society. There's quite a few out there that just get their jollies off on fucking tearing people down, and it's like, why? Just why?
Post publicly about the situation. I've never told anybody to send you guys abuse or anything like that. And actually, if anybody's watching this right now, for clarity, even though I am very annoyed about the situation, I don't want anyone to send them abuse. I don't. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I'm annoyed about the situation, but it's done now. The song's down. It's gone. Do you know what I mean? So, like, I'm not trying to ruin somebody.
And in case anybody's watching this at this point, I just would like to mention, as of 9:10 here, I believe it was sometime last night that Ren had posted that Sick Boy is back up currently, but who knows for how long. But YouTube jumped in on his side, so I will applaud YouTube for that one. I realize how that might come off clapping to the camera, but seriously, I do mean it. I talk quite a bit of shit on YouTube as being owned by Google, and that is one move 1,000% that I can be like, fuck yeah, boys, thank you.
His life over this. I'll have my own form of revenge, as you'll see at the end of this video, but I'm not trying to ruin anyone's life over this. So,
and we'll be checking that out.
If they say to me that I'm trying to incentivize stuff like that, I'm not, guys. I don't want you to go and abuse them, right? But it is up to me to talk about this situation fairly. So, like, we seem to make some middle ground. She's even talking to me about, like, her ADHD and knows that I've got ADHD and, like, you know, maybe we just got... So I'm like, you know what? She seems pretty level-headed, right?
Okay, so we'll just read this. Let's take that out quick. Nope, that didn't work. Anyway, I believe it says that I was getting literally hundreds of messages about it. And then when my fans asked him why, he made me out to be the bad guy here. So I had to say what was happening. I get that it's what he thought, but still, please put yourself in my shoes. That was before the lawyer then said, oh, and by the way, 3K and 15% master, because if you don't, we have the right to 100%. And blank was like, yep, seems fair. Just trying to help you understand it wasn't character assassination. She says, I know, but that was unfair of you to force him to deal with this publicly. It's a bit of a violation. You can be upset and disagree with the terms, or even think he's the biggest scammy... That must be a British thing. I don't know that explanation, or that expression, but the biggest scammy sick in the world. Like, I'm assuming it's kind of like a scumbag type shit. I don't know what she's trying to say there, but I get the point. But you can't force him into the public like that. When you have a huge platform, you have a responsibility. That's what Batman said, I think. I'm putting myself in your shoes, trust me. So, back to the first part of her response, or how she called him out for making this public. Like, bro, I hate when people say that because you have a huge platform, you have a responsibility. No, that's manipulative people's way of saying, you shouldn't say that. I'm going to tell you what you should say on your platform. Nah, bitch. My platform's my platform, and I'm going to say the same shit at, 200, 2K, 200,000, 2 million. It doesn't matter. Like, bro, I am who I am, and I ain't changing that shit just based on a following. Fuck that. Like, one of the nice things about having the reach that Ren has is you can go, hey, man, this is what I'm seeing. This is the God honest truth. If anything, you at least at that level have an obligation to honesty, but I don't see any lies here, man. I really don't. Now, it'd be different if he was using the huge platform to slander somebody. That's illegal. But he's not.
Right? So, like, cool. You know what? Maybe these guys it's just a big misunderstanding and we can figure a way to amicably sort this out. And I say to her, look, yeah, I'm happy to split the publishing, but I don't really want to split the master out of principle because I bought this, right? But then at this point I start being like, you know what, maybe I'll split some of the master for the future stuff just to get this out of the way, even though I don't believe I should because they've stolen the beat with a stolen sample. I'm like, if this just gets this over the line, I'm happy to split the future.
Oh, I gotta go back to that. Sorry, I know a lot of pausing and we just barely caught up to where I was at.
At this point I start being like, you know what, maybe I'll split some of the master for the future stuff.
So he says, there is shared responsibility, and I'm working hard on remedying it. I'm not expecting him to bend the knee blank. He holds grudges. He's upset about the public shaming and the fallout of that. But there's some shared responsibility here, regardless of what came after. Just from an emotional and unemotional level, okay? Just from, she says, to the unemotional level part, she says, I understand you may need to hear him acknowledge that, but you have to come to terms with the fact that might not happen, and that doesn't make him an asshole. Dude, what kind of brainwash shit you got going on in your head? You're either in on it with him, or you're like ride or die with him to the point that you don't see his faults. I don't understand. This is... it's fucked. Anyway, Ren says back, I get it comes from lack of experience in these situations where songs blow up and rights holders who most of the time aren't even the performer ask for way too much because they have people over a barrel. Makes sense. It doesn't make him an asshole, but it does make me feel less good about the fact I'm actually giving him money I technically shouldn't be to cover his mistake. I'm going to do it regardless because I believe people should be paid for their input, but I'm taking the fall for something he's done, which is why when I read the comments like, it's all Ren's lawyer, I then explode, lol. Makes sense. Ren's valid as fuck there, dude. And I'm not just like trying to dick ride Ren. Like, bro, it's kind of hard to disagree with anything he said here. Like, I called him out on the one thing earlier, but outside of that, like, man, he's 100% in the right.
Just to get this out of the way, even though I don't believe I should, because they've stolen the beat with a stolen sample, I'm like,
yep.
If this just gets this over the line, I'm happy to split the future master. I even say that in the email.
Oh, and I also want to mention it. Like, I have friends that do this shit for a living. Like, friends that are beat makers, friends that are, like, you know, EDM artists and shit like that. Like, dude, especially in EDM, like, people get in trouble all the fucking time for sampling shit they didn't get permission for. Most of the time, it's not the big artists. The big artists are smarter than that. But, bruh, just because you think, oh, I only used 2 seconds of it. Like, coming from a YouTuber that has to submit copyright claims every fucking day. Yeah. Dude, it's, legality's a bitch. And as a producer, he fucked up.
Thread to the lawyers and stuff, right? So I'm conceding a little bit here because I just want this situation done with.
Yeah.
We end on a good note in this conversation. Then the next morning, I wake up to post from her all over my Reddit lying about the contract, and then I see a comment on.
Okay, so he says she's lying about the contract. So she posts, unfortunately, I'm unable to share screenshot of that document. I can, however, confirm that indeed the licensee, Ren, should hold the producer harmless in case of an unclear sample, and that any payment for sample clearance has to be licensee borne. Do you think because you make up words, like, your terminology doesn't even make any fucking sense? I know what you're trying to say, but yeah, bullshit. Sending some of his publishing fees could be acceptable, except Ren's team has insisted on him giving them all up. I also agree that the publishing society should be held accountable, but it's still Ren's track in the end. Kujo had no responsibilities there. Bullshit. Anyway, I'm not sure Kujo would want to collab again, given the debacle this has taken. The whole social media thunderstorm is messy, very stressful, and honestly unnecessary. Well, I'm not telling you, like, right here that, again, I don't know who's all heard of Kujo. And I mean, maybe I should look up his YouTube and just see what his sub count is. But I'm gonna take a wild fucking guess and say not Ren's sub count. KujoBeats. Let's see what's up. Bruh. Yo, this motherfucker is my size. Wow. Jealousy much? Jesus Christ, that puts some more things into perspective. Holy fuck. Oh, the way this dude talking, I'm thinking, oh, well, you know, he's got to have like 50K, 100K, something substantial, like he's known as a producer. Bro, who the fuck is you? I was 100% in place, not out of place on this, when I fucking said I haven't heard of you, because I don't think anybody's heard of you. God damn, bro. Anyway, so what looks like a screenshot over here, it says trying to hold it to ransom for 100% of the monetization on YouTube, trying to get more than the original agreement just because the track got successful. Assuming Ren is actually so loaded you can milk him when he is an independent artist, having to pay the salaries of all those who work for him. You're not talking to Drake level wealth and recording label backing here. You're talking about a guy who has had one album which he's been too ill to tour, so, and ill like sick, like health issues. So he's also not even gotten money from touring the album. So I'm not sure what those bullet points are from. It sounds like somebody responding to her, but I'm not sure. Anyway, all of those statements are misinterpretations of or Kujo's intent stated. Oh, she shared a screenshot. I get it. So she's sharing a screenshot of what probably fans said or something. Or Kujo's intent state of mind and what actually went down behind closed doors. Kujo never asked for more than he was owed. He never asked for 100% either. That's a fucking lie. His lawyer did. Or his representative, whatever. Like, that's some bullshit. They were trying to strong arm him. That's not, and that was never what he was after. Plain and simple. He's not assuming Ren is Drake level wealthy, but he is factually more wealthy and more powerful than him. There's no point in denying that. I mentioned it to highlight the consequences of a potential court case. It would be costly for both, but it might actually ruin a small producer like Kujo. Ren knows that, and I believe that's why he's made those threats. Just my opinion. I mean, y'all just sound like you're trying to play sly shit. Like, I'm 100% hearing what you're saying, but it's just, like, you're playing some manipulative shit, man. I understand you're small, and I understand, like, you're trying to paint this fucking picture of, like, Ren bullying you and all this kind of stuff, but the honest truth is it's a small dude, like, actually trying to bully Ren. And playing this victimhood bullshit that people play nowadays. And it's like, why don't we fucking be honest here? Not to mention, if Kujo doesn't want 100%, then why is Kujo going through this representative? I would have fired that fucking piece of shit right off the bat. No fucking joke. I don't give a goddamn. Like, no. If he don't fucking hold ownership over my produced beat, like, he's just a platform for sharing it, and he gets, like, a percentage of the share, fine. But you don't own my beat. So, at the end of the day, I'm not required to have your representation. So, I can go and talk to Ren myself and be like, hey, man, like, I don't know what the fuck's getting all blown out of proportion here. Like, I just want a little bit of extra money. I feel like I'm owed that. I've been screwed on this, and this. Like, let's take this to mediation outside of this fucking representative, because this representative is obviously fucking nuts, if that's what she's claiming. But I think they're calling bullshit. I think they're pushing the representative to push this. That's what it sounds like to me, because they've been manipulative and two-faced the whole fucking time. Kujo more so than his girlfriend, but his girlfriend's kind of two-faced too.
On Anthony Ray's video, where he's talking about the situation from her, saying this is what the contract says, and she made up she wrote a whole passage that wasn't even in our contract. It was completely made up. So after her being super nice to me behind the scenes in this conversation and feeling like I wake up to read this and I'm like, I start losing my mind, because I'm like, these guys, they're like, they pretend they're on
vultures,
my side, and then it's just like they publicly post all this stuff. So I'm like, I put her up on it. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, first of all, this is definitely
you can't even say that they're fucking vultures, because vultures are like smart in picking out their fucking food that's already fucking dead. No, the proper comparison would be like a fucking rat that sneaks in and starts chewing on your ass. Anyway, so Ren says, dude, come on, for fuck's sake. You're posting something which isn't even, I'm assuming this is to the girl, which isn't even in the contract. Please download it and look at it and search for the quote you just posted. Producer undertakes no responsibility whatsoever as to any elements added to the new song by licensee. And licensee, okay, well, for licensee, we're going to sub in Ren to make this make sense, and producer is going to be Kujo. So Kujo undertakes no responsibility whatsoever as to any elements added to the new song Sick Boy by Ren, and Ren indemnifies and holds Kujo harmless for any such elements. Kujo warrants that he did not sample, as that term is commonly understood in the recording industry, any copyrighted material or sound recordings belonging to any other person, firm, or corporation, hereinafter referred to as owner, without first having notified Ren. This is exactly what it says. This is exactly what it says to me. The artist cannot. This is exactly what it says. It says, me, the artist, cannot add any additional unclear samples. Please read it. Don't give me reasons to get annoyed. Please, I thought we'd put this to bed till me and Kujo chat tomorrow. I felt like our chat was good, but if I see you posting lies online, dude, how am I meant to feel like Kujo is a good person? For fuck's sake. I'm trying to sort this so he gets his money. Stop blank, please. Just work with me and not against me. Some of the blanks I'm actually left blank on. I can't quite guess what he's saying there. There's been a couple times where he blanked out shit. Most of the time I can like figure out names and shit, but the some of the blanks I'm like, did he say something that he doesn't want to? I don't know. Anyway.
Information. You can't be out here like making up stuff that's not
right.
even in the contract.
I agree with you.
So she's like, yeah, it's ridiculous. Right, so next I find a bunch of messages on Reddit from Kujo's girlfriend lying about the contract, which I'm going to put up here, which is actually very...
Okay, so is this the same? I don't know if I rewound somehow or if he's re-showing this. Okay.
Illegal,
Same
by
thing.
the way.
Oh, okay, he's doing a zoom in. Alright, I'll shut up and rewind it just a hair.
All this stuff, so I'm like, I put her up on it. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, first of all, this is defamation. You can't be out here like making up stuff that's not even in the contract, you know? So she's like, yeah, it's ridiculous. Right, so next I find a bunch of messages on Reddit from Kujo's girlfriend lying about the contract, which I'm going to put up here, which is actually very illegal, by the way. No, I won't be pressing charges over it. I just want to get this situation out of the way, but So I'm just going to put all these up for you to pause and read if you want to. It's ridiculous, basically. She also says that I was obviously upset, so I wasn't the most cooperative.
So she says here, you're not completely wrong here, but you have to know that Kujo has tried to discuss it with Ren without middlemen. It was the day after the strike, so Ren was obviously upset, so he wasn't the most cooperative. He refused to fully acknowledge that a mistake on his end, causing Kujo not to get paid royalties, was at the heart of all this, and kept going on about how Kujo fucked up for using an uncleared sample. So he had to make it right by accepting to give up all of his shares of the song in the exchange for a fixed fee, which is what Ren's lawyer was offering for months without budging, and what led to the copyright strike in the first place. Ren kept on threatening to sue and to go public. To be fair, I think he was probably still quite worked up about the whole thing and in no place to negotiate, so they decided to call it quits for the time being and to see what their lawyers could work up together. Ren took it public the next morning. I mean, some of the first bits are bullshit, obviously. She's trying to twist shit, but I mean, at the end of all this, what I can say is this particular statement kind of seems like probably a he said, she said thing. I'm still betting Ren's in the right here, but this is more irrelevant shit, right? She's insinuating or inferring that he was in certain moods that she couldn't possibly know.
As you guys, if you skip back in this video, you'll see I was extremely cooperative when I found out what was going on. I was being very amicable when I was trying to offer Kujo solutions
and that's why I say, like, it seems like she's twisting shit. She's inferring attitudes that I haven't seen up to this point in this video.
Being amazingly supportive and sympathetic. I refuse to fully acknowledge that a mistake on my end causing Kujo not to get paid was at the heart of all of this. It wasn't. A stolen sample was at the heart of all of this. Yes, the publishers, right, failed to correctly register Kujo, which wasn't anything to do with me. They've now remedied that, and there'll be a back payment for whatever percentage we end up on. No money's been lost here, right? That is something that was the publisher's fault, which I was very annoyed about, which I actually sent a message to the publishers about, explaining how annoyed I was about that situation.
So just to verify what Ren said so we can be transparent. Hi guys, here's the situation in a nutshell. I woke up this morning with a copyright strike on my track Sick Boy, which was a beat I fully licensed from BeatStars. After some digging, the producer KujoBeats blank told me, oh, his real name, gotcha, told me that he and his legal team have been chasing publishing money with blank for a year with no luck. I'm assuming that's a lawyer. I definitely forwarded the contract over to my publishing team, CC'd blank on the email, but we have checked ASCAP and blank isn't, oh, that's Kujo's real name, I assume, isn't registered there, so wondering why that is. To further complicate the matter, we understand that there is an uncleared sample in the track, which the original creators have been chasing a sample clearance fee from. I was under the impression that any track purchased from BeatStars are owned by the producer and that I wouldn't have to further clear samples, but correct me if I'm wrong here. Also, I would really like to know how it got to the point where everyone got so frustrated that a copyright strike was issued on a YouTube video, losing me followers and revenue and getting my channel striked without anyone even informing me that this frustrated back and forth was even happening. Neither anyone from Blank's side, which I'm assuming is Kujo's side, had told me they were frustrated, nor did anyone from my side. And I've been left opening messages from hundreds of frustrated fans, and with a copyright strike and loss of revenue. I'm very confused and would really appreciate the copyright strike revoked ASAP. If I'm assuming Kujo hasn't been registered properly with the publishing, that also needs to happen ASAP. And I'd just like to figure out what the hell's going on, honestly.
Fighting for
Fair.
Kujo in that when I didn't have to fight for Kujo because he was being a prick, right? So I sent that message to them anyway, fighting on Kujo's side, because despite all of this, I am a man of principle still, right? I kept threatening to sue and go public. No, I didn't. I wasn't threatening to sue. I did say I would go public if my song carried on being used as leverage. I gave them a very fair warning because they didn't need to use the song, the video as leverage, and they kept on doing that. That was because I kept getting hundreds of messages a day from my fans being like, where's the video, and I wanted to address it all at once, and I also felt like I was being treated.
Okay. So she says, yet again here, the issue is that Ren didn't honor the original contract included in the terms and conditions of BeatStar's platform he bought the beat from. He basically paid a flat fee, €80, while agreeing to pay a percentage of all earnings of the song to Kujo, which he still hasn't paid to this day. Probably a mess up on his team. At least she's fairly honest there, which it's actually, I don't know what I'd say is team, but the publishers. Kujo used vocals from a Bulgarian choir in the beat and disclosed the use of third-party sample on the beat page. He didn't notice for some reason nor cared to ask if that sample had been cleared, paid for, which traditionally is the artist's label's duty, even if that means going halvesies with the producer. Nah, bruh. If you produce a beat and I want to rap over it or something, like, I'm hoping that when you sell me that shit's, like, you got the rights to that. You didn't have the rights to your own fucking beat because you included other people's fucking shit. You basically stole somebody's shit and then expected to sell it. Nah. What twisted ass shit are you trying to say here, girl? When the song blew up, the Bulgarians went knocking on Ren's door. Only then did Kujo receive a mail from his team after months of ignoring him when asking for a payment. Instead of offering an acceptable solution, they've been trying to have him accept a flat fee and give up all his rights to the song. Kujo was hesitant to take the deal, but his lawyer insisted that it was abnormal and to refuse. Kujo's lawyer said the only solution was to issue a copyright strike since they were being ignored at this point. By the way, girl, I'm surprised you don't know, but even Kujo said in his messages that it's not his lawyer. It's his representative from BeatStars, which makes it BeatStars' lawyer if he is even a lawyer. Turns out Ren wasn't at all involved in all those negotiations, so the takedown of Sick Boy took him by surprise and got him understandably upset. When the strike happened, Kujo had no idea either. Ren sent a mail on Kujo's personal mail that he doesn't check as much. I believe he was out with friends the morning after. Ren immediately went in Kujo's comments. They talked privately to no satisfactory end, and Ren went public asking his followers to go to Kujo's page and ask him to take the strike down. I don't know if that's true or not. I'm assuming Ren's going to speak on that, and I'll take his word for it. Kujo had no idea that Ren didn't know about it. He's never wanted the video to be taken down, nor to take 100%, it doesn't sit well with him. While his representative said 100%, so he just wants to get paid, and his lawyer feels like the sample isn't a reason to remove all his rights on the song like Ren's team suggested. Don't know if that's true 100% or not. Ren's team hasn't reconsidered the terms at all so far, so that's where we're at. So I'm assuming he marked that because that's a talking point he's going to talk about, and I'm assuming maybe because he didn't underline the other part, maybe that was the original terms, but then Ren's team has reconsidered, and she's lying about that. But anyway, I know Kujo personally, and I can guarantee you this dude doesn't have a malevolent, dishonest bone in his body. I mean, you're not, unless I'm mistaken that this isn't his girlfriend, like, you're leaving out the fact that you're his girlfriend. Like, you personally live with him, date him, whatever, like, you lying ass fucking. Anyway. He's just an art. Well, I call that a lying ass because you're omitting facts. But anyway. He's just an artist trying to make a living just like Ren. For reference, Sick Boy has engrossed anywhere between €20 and €45 on YouTube alone. And Kujo has been paid an initial flat fee of €80, and that's it, which is not fair compensation for his work. So their estimation is probably based on something like, Jesus, what's that fucking site I go to? There's a fucking site for YouTube analytics that tells you, like, oh, this is how much this page is grossing, and this is how much that page is grossing, and this is how much this video made, and blah, 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 right? Some YouTube monitoring site thing. SEO type shit. That site's inaccurate as fuck. It gets me some info, like, it can show me charts on views and shit, because it literally pulls that data directly from YouTube. But the money part is inaccurate as fuck. I know that from what it estimates my channel and my videos for. I know that from what it estimates other people's channels, because I know, I've talked to them. Like, yeah, man. YouTube generally doesn't make as much as y'all think it does. Some people are making a lot, some people are not. Those who you think are making a lot probably aren't, and those who you wouldn't think are making a lot, maybe, you know? So, you know what I mean? It's like, I'm not saying Ren doesn't make a shit ton of money, but I'm gonna say that 20 to 45K probably isn't anywhere near accurate, being my guess. Especially when we're counting millions and who knows what shit he's got on it and whatever else and what settings he has and so on and so forth. And yeah, anyway. Oh, my bad.
Treated extremely unfairly, right? I had to accept by giving up all my shares of the song in exchange for a fixed fee. Yeah, that was between my lawyers. Ren took it public the next morning. Yes, I did.
Kujo also claimed to me and publicly that he'd been chasing publishing money for over a year with no reply, which is why he was so annoyed, as did his girlfriend. This was another lie, as proven in the next screenshots. So, I'm running out of time again here, guys, because this is a work night, but I'm getting through it, I swear. It just takes a lot of time when I'm pausing and reading through these, but I want to do that even for my personal viewing. So, dude, literally in this message you posted yesterday, it said you guys were chasing for a year, and Kujo told me that multiple times. I can go back, grab proof, hold up. That's what Ren said. What happened is Kujo has been asking Blank about his publishing for almost a year, I'm assuming Ren's lawyer. When the song was posted, basically, and he pretty much ghosted him until the Bulgarian showed up at your door. I know you're angry, Ren says, but everything you're posting or telling me that isn't true makes the situation 1,000 times more complicated. Okay, but wait. You just said it wasn't till so-and-so emailed. That was April in my understanding. And then he contacted Kujo back and tried to get him to give up the publishing over the sample. Did you ever reach out to Blank regarding publishing before the Bulgarian choir situation? Please tell me you did, because it helps you guys, and I'm trying my best to help you guys here. Bro, I'm not angry right now. I just woke up, and I have ADHD, so I have no fucking memory, not sense of time whatsoever. I mean, ADHD varies, but I mean, yeah, my memory's trash, but I don't think it's just my ADHD. I think it's other shit, honestly. But I could be wrong. Anyway. Oh, shit. That was another I wasn't sure if that was another one, and then hang on for the flip. There. Okay. Just get Kujo to find some proof that he actually made any attempt to... Oh, that's a reply to that message. I'm not sure he did, and I'm not sure he claimed he did. Like I said, I don't remember, nor was I involved with everything from the get-go. Dude, I can show you screenshot proof, and you literally claimed you were reaching out for a year last night. Hold up. I know there was a call with blank regarding the sample a while back where he tried to get Kujo to give up all of his rights to clear it in exchange for $3K. It was a long time ago. This started in April as far as I know. That was 3 months ago, man, not a year. I think it's since that the negotiation started. What happened? Bro, until a month, I was working 50 hours a week and completely burnt out. I can't help you here. Okay, 50 hours is not much, girl. I work 40s in the summer, and I work 70 to 80 in the winter. When we get 50, we call that a break in the winter. Yeah, 50 ain't shit. But anyway, it's like 10-hour days, 5 days a week. Wow, that's one more day than what I work in the summer. Like, come on. Anyway, the other analysis on here is she's already starting to trip up over her words. And no, I'm not picking on her ADHD. Like, this is where I'm picking on she's telling lies and she can't keep them straight, so she's making excuses. This is not a characteristic of ADHD. This is a characteristic of people that don't have proper values. Like, just, you lack honesty, girl. And now you can't keep your story straight. Coming from somebody who knows how to lie very well. Very well. I was taught by some of the best. But what I will say is I don't do that. And it took a lot of practice to not do that because it was second nature to me. And what I can tell you right now is clearly you didn't memorize your story. And that's one of the first rules in lying is believe your fucking story. Mistake number 1, girl.
Right, let's take this home now. At this point, I've just lost all amicability, right?
Yeah.
I'm pissed
And
off.
respect for her.
I messaged Kujo's girlfriend and him saying, this is the first time I've...
The video goes back up when the agreement is signed and I get my first payment. Best I can do. Okay. You sound like a ransom, dude. But anyway. You'll get your money. But if I see a single post from you or your girlfriend on any story, reply, Reddit, lying about the situation, don't play victim again. If I tell the truth of this situation, and I mean a single one that gives any one-sided information about this, because you'll essentially be taking thousands of pounds out of my own pocket, I'd appreciate you acknowledge publicly at the end of this that you should have never sold any uncleared sample. Okay.
I've threatened to sue, but I'm like, if I see any more lies from you guys about this situation, I will sue you guys. Because it's like, that's my public...
And he says, I'm leaving now, but I'm going to make this very clear. I never once threatened to sue up until now, but if I see one single post which lies about the fact of this situation, I will sue for defamation. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Stand up for your rights, boy. From either you or Kujo, stick to the facts. So this is obviously a message to her. Stick to the facts. Stick to everything that was said in these messages. Stick to the reality of the contract. Then post whatever you like. Please do not contact me again. This has been so frustrating, and if your boyfriend is annoyed about something. Oh, and in the future, if your boyfriend is annoyed about something, tell him to contact the fucking artist about it and read his contract before throwing a hissy fit. Way to stand up for yourself, man. You were a dick, but you were standing up for yourself. And I don't blame you after the shit she said and the lies she pulled. Like, just flat out not fucking dealing with her gaslighting bullshit. Lying and everything else. 100%, bro. 100 fucking percent. So at this point, we're going to pause here again. Be back. Alright. Now, third time getting back into this. Rewind a little bit. Let's jump back into it.
If I see any more lies from you guys about this situation, I will sue you guys. Because it's like, that's my public image. Like, I pride myself on the fairness that I show everyone that I work with, right? And my principles. And I'm also very against greed, and I stand against it militantly, which a lot of you will know from my work and how I treat people. How I treat people that I work with, right?
I second that, Ren. I'm really not into greed. Don't get me wrong, like, there are some material things that I do like. I'm not afraid to admit that. And, you know, it's all great for us to earn different things, right? But greed is a different level of achieving. It's like going past achieving and then just stepping on everybody you possibly can just to get more money, and that's not cool.
Right, so them spreading this stuff that I'm trying to be greedy here massively hurts my public image. So I was like, if you guys lie anymore.
Yeah, and sorry to pause right away again, but in regards to Ren on that greed part, I have yet to see one single thing that makes him greedy. He's done nothing but be selfless and really help a lot of people. Like, it is completely disrespectful for anybody to try to portray him as greedy when he's done nothing but help tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands, or maybe even million people. Like, I know he affected me deeply, and I know several other people he did as well, amongst my followers. And I can only bet that there are hundreds of thousands, at least, that he has helped with his story and the way he expresses it.
More about this. Yeah. I'm going to do something about it, basically. And then I'm talking to Kujo, and things get more heated. We get another email from their lawyer saying, you know, like, if you won't agree to our terms, we will take 100% of the song. That's where we stand on it. That is final.
Okay. So this is from Kujo. It says, I'm not trying to take 100%, bro. Like, just get your lawyer to write up the contract so we can settle this, man. It's been over 8 months and your lawyer is still bouncing emails back and forth with zero progress. I made it clear that I'm willing to make concessions and I never intended to take 100%. Ren says, I'm not agreeing to a retroactive payment, brother. I made that very clear. I agreed to a publishing split and advance going forward and a new master split. But I'm not going to spend weeks going through my receipts of the video, etc. And Kujo says back, but that's what you agreed on in the video call, ? And Ren says, I have better things to do. Kujo says, don't you have a team to take care of that for you? Which I don't think he realizes, like, yeah, sure, I'm sure Ren has, like, a few friends helping him or whatever, but my understanding is Ren's not, like, he doesn't have a big label or any of that kind of shit. Like, no question that he's unsigned. I know he's label free, independent, but I don't know that he has all that many people helping him. I think it's just a few close friends, and that's about it. But I could be wrong. Ren says, no, it isn't. I always said I was against retroactive split, and no, brother, I'm independent, and that aside. Kujo says back, you literally have a manager and a lawyer, dude. And Ren says, I paid for an unlimited beat back payment from the start is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And Kujo says, blank agreed on back payment on your behalf. That was settled in the video call, bro. And Ren says back, he didn't, and if he did, that wasn't my wishes. It wasn't settled in the call. Okay.
If you do not agree to this retroactive master split, we're taking everything. So I messaged back. I'm going to show you that email. I messaged back, essentially summarizing.
So the email says, no need, I will issue the takedown myself. The way this has been dealt with from the start has been ridiculous. No prior contact tried to be established from Kujo about the publishing issue, which I explained to him was nothing to do with me. An unlicensed sample being sold, which also breached the contract and will definitely play a role in court. The video being removed and no warning as a way of leverage, defamation spread by Kujo and his girlfriend on both my own personal YouTube pages and my Reddit page of text not actually included in the original contract, whilst claimed to be by Kujo's girlfriend, all of which I have proof of, and then playing the victim when I explained to my fans why the song was taken down. The song means a great deal to me. It is about my over 10 years health struggle, and ironically about greed in the music industry. To further add insult to injury, Kujo did not say a single word on the call with me when he has no problem running his mouth to my fans. I found that incredibly disrespectful. I agree, Ren. I 100% agree. He says, I will happily see Kujo in court if that is the route he wishes to pursue, as there was originally a breach of contract from his side by selling an unlicensed sample. The fact he never once tried to reach out directly before this all started was crazy. Have a good day. Look forward to meeting Kujo in person if this ever goes to court. What I would say to that is I think that was put great. I can only speak to my knowledge on the U.S. court system, but if Britain's anything like that, which I assume that's where this is going, is some sort of British court, Kujo's fucked. I mean, bro, in whose right mind can you sell an unlicensed sample beat and act as though it's your own? Like, that's trash. That's fucking trash. It's never been on the artist to clear samples and shit like that. Nah. Fuck you, bro. That's some shady ass, twisted business type tactics that nobody would successfully use. That's just fucked unless somebody completely is gullible.
This email, I just say, I'm going to take down the song myself. I'm fed up of this. I'm fed up of you threatening me with my own song that I poured myself into. I've explained.
Okay, so he sends another email here. Just a message to everyone here. It seems I have done absolutely everything here by the book, notified about content ID, let the publishers know about publishing, purchased a beat in good faith, thinking all samples were cleared. Yet it is me, my hard work, and my finances that are suffering. And on top of this, I now also have lawyer fees when there has been huge delays in communication. I would ask anyone working with me on this for any mess ups here to offer a resolution of the situation that excludes me. As to reiterate, I have done absolutely nothing wrong here. Kujo should have made contact. He shouldn't have sold an unlicensed beat. Content ID should have been turned off exactly when I requested. Publishing should have been registered correctly and paid, and when the sample dispute was happening, nothing should have been actioned until there was an agreement made by all parties involved. Got to be honest, I'm pretty upset across the board here, as I have done nothing wrong in this situation, and it is my work and my finances suffering here. Would love it if you guys can resolve this with what you think is fair. Out of principle, I will be removing Sick Boy on all DSPs today, as well as a video tens of thousands of pounds and a painstaking amount of hard work went into, as well as a song that is very personal to me. This whole situation has been ridiculous. And I don't know if he states here, I'll rewind just a hair so we can catch everything he said while I was reading through all those. But I don't know who that's to, but it's on point again, dude. And I can understand some people are probably going to try to twist that, right? They're going to say, see, he's not taking responsibility. But I'll speak in favor of Ren here and just say there's no responsibility for him to take. Like, when you buy a beat, you're buying the beat. Like, the fuck? No extra strings attached bullshit. That's just crazy. Otherwise, fuck it, dude. He can throw his own shit together. He didn't need to use your beat. Anyway.
Email. I message back, essentially summarizing this email. I just say, I'm going to take down the song myself. I'm fed up of this. I'm fed up of you threatening me with my own song that I poured myself into. I've explained what it means to me. I explained to both of them what it means to me. So I'm like, I'm taking it down myself. I don't want to let them win over this. I've been in situations in the music industry before where I had to concede because I was broke and I just had to let a powerful, greedy person win over me, and I know this is not the same situation. It's not like Kujo is like this in this huge position of power here, but how they've dealt with this whole situation was ridiculous. So I was like, rather than bend to this leverage and just out of principle, I'm just going to take the song off. And it's ironic, man, because the song is about greed, and it hurts me a lot that it's down now. It proper hurts me, man. I can't stress that enough because of what the song was and what the song meant to me. But
I feel you on that, bro.
That's the way the cookie crumbles. So I sent these emails. I also sent a mass email out to everybody, the publisher, Kujo, the lawyers involved, just saying how disappointed I am across the board, even from people on my side. I was just disappointed at how this whole situation been dealt with, because ultimately at the core of this situation, the only person getting proper hurt financially from this is me, right? Because of my hard work that I've done to promote this music,
I feel you, bro.
of my story and how that's been exploited. I'm the person who will suffer future losses for the earnings, and regardless of earnings, fuck earnings for a second, that song I was proud of.
Bro, let me just say it before he even says it. That was his heart and fucking soul, man. I would say pretty much all of his music is, but Sick Boy told a lot of his story. It connected with a lot of people, and he really poured his passion into that, man. Yeah, it's just fucked.
What it meant to people, I was proud of. The messages that I get from people every day, telling me how much they relate to the song, how much it helps them through difficult times, that's gone now, that's taken away from people. So yeah, pissed off. Anyway, so I sent that email out. Me and Kujo share some pretty heated words. If you're a petty person, you'll probably like to pause on some of this.
I'm not a petty person just because he said that, but I'm trying to cover this part just to kind of read these things so people can't accuse and whatnot. Kujo just says, make it make sense. No, brother, I have time for none of this out of principle. To me, fatigues, he says. I don't know what he means like that. I'm not paying you a master split. You have dealt with this. Yeah, fair. Pretty rich coming from you, mate. Anywho, and Ren just basically tells him to fuck off and talk to whatever, tell him your terms, let's finish this. And Ren says, I have multiple times, you know my terms, but that's irrelevant now. I don't give a fuck about the details, Kujo says, anymore. I just want this to be over and get my bag. Tell blank what you want so he can tell my guy and we can settle this for fuck's sake. Yeah, I true. I mean, it's Ren's tired, and I'm sure I guess to be understanding of Kujo's side, whether he's manipulating or not, like, I'm sure he's kind of tired of this shit too. I think he thought this was going to be a lot easier than it has been.
It's ridiculous. One of the...
And then here he says, you didn't say a single sentence on the call. Not one. That's because I let the professional... Oh, okay, so we went back to... We read this one earlier in the video. And he just basically reiterates the... You sold an unlicensed sample and chasing more money than you're owed. Yeah.
The things that took the piss the most that he said when I just lost my cool at this point. I lost all patience.
So he says, not going to listen to your messages, but just want to let you know I think blank has done you dirty as fuck in this whole thing in his own interest. From one artist to another, I'm sorry it came this far and got so fucked up. I'm going to talk to blank to see what options we have to end it this month so we can move the fuck on. I'd advise you to hire a new lawyer. Peace. Ren says, if advice, the same brother suggesting you take down a song about even contacting the artist without even contacting the artist and then threatening to remove it before we even heard back from the original sample owners is bonkers. If you don't want to listen, I'll say it here. If I see one more lie from you or your girlfriend about this situation, I will sue you for defamation. So be very careful. Stick to facts. And Kujo says, don't threaten me, idiot. We never lied. And he said, it's a promise, not a threat, a promise. Unlike you and your fans. So he's claiming that Ren and his fans, people like myself, are lying. Okay. Your girlfriend literally wrote a whole passage not in the contract. And he says, whatever. And you literally said to me that it was my responsibility to clear samples multiple times. And he said, can we stop this petty shit? Like, really, dude? Like, he's calling you on your bullshit and you're saying it's petty. What? Like, nah, bruh. Who's being petty? Look at your little one-word answers here.
One of the funny things he said after all this was like, if you really cared about your fans, then you would leave them the song. So he was...
And Kujo says, cool. If you really cared about your fans, you would leave them the song. Just saying, which is what Ren just stated. The original contract didn't have a master split. If you want to chase a breach of contract, you could. You're letting your pride and ego get in the way, mate. I'm not trying to chase shit with you except my bag. Once I get paid, you can do whatever you want with the song. I don't give a fuck. And then Ren says something back in voice. Just pay me and let's end this, for fuck's sake.
Turning it around on me when he'd used the song as leverage. He said, if you cared about your fans, you leave it up for them. Then he said, I'm letting my pride and ego get in the way because I'm not paying him money that I didn't think he deserved for selling a stolen beat, right? He's saying that that's my ego. It's my ego's fault. And then he's just saying, he kept saying, just pay me, let me get...
There's a difference between ego and principle. Sure, don't get me wrong, like sometimes it's a mix. I've definitely been in on that mix of holding on to my principle so much that it kind of became quite a bit of my ego involved in that. But this isn't an ego thing. This is huge, man. Like, you're fucking with somebody's entire life here. You don't understand how much the song means to Ren. Or his fans, for that matter.
Get my bag. I want the money. Just give me my money. I explained to him again, like, dude, I'm not the person that pays you the money. I've explained this to you so many times. It's the pub.
He says, why are we still talking? Just pay me. Dude, how many times? I'm not a publisher. That money is between you and the publisher. Then peace. Your music sucks, by the way. Wow. Who's petty now, boy? Let's compare how well it's doing if you want to go that route, homeboy. You're a child, lad. One that can't even talk for himself. valid. I mean, most of this is petty, but valid.
Publisher, and he's like, all right, cool. It finally seems to sink in that, like, I haven't stolen this man's money. I haven't taken a penny of this man's money. The publisher was at fault for not registering it properly, and they're resolving that, and then he'll get his money from the publishing. I don't want a penny of that. I don't care about that money. Do you know what I mean? Like, whatever. He deserves a bit of money for making that part of the beat. Sure. He shouldn't have stolen a sample and sold it to me. Theoretically, he could have all of his publishing taken away, but even after all of this, I still agreed to give him a bit of a publishing split, just to shut him up, man. So it's like, I could have been even more petty and dug my feet in there, but I just want the situation over with. So the song's down. The funniest comment that I'm going to end this on, because this is going to be some album artwork, by the way. Single artwork, sorry. This is the next announcement. He goes, alright, peace. Your music sucks, by the way. Which is really funny, considering...
he has 3.5K, and Ren has over 1 million. Bruh, you ain't even gotta fight that back. Just numbers speak volumes.
You know, the message earlier where he told me that it was an honor, or it was like, it was really good.
He says, hey bro, I'm the beat maker from this one. Dope song, dope subject. You killed it, man. Always makes me happy to see people creating real art with my work. Hit me up if you want a link. So, backtracking that one, huh? And obviously this was a original statement from when he first released the song, and Kujo's like praising him now all of a sudden because, you know, he's playing all petty, like he's just jabbing.
To work with me, you know, funny. It's funny, hypocritical, funny. But yeah, sure, my music sucks, brother. Cool. That's gonna be the single artwork, which leads me to my last point, ladies and gentlemen. I'm releasing.
So I'll rewind so you can start that statement from the beginning, but I just want to throw this in here for Ren. And this statement is truly solely for Ren, whether or not he sees this. Dude, you are one of the greatest artists that is making music right now, and possibly one of the greatest artists of all time. That's my personal opinion. You are literally one of my favorites, and you've made more impact, I think, on your fans than most artists ever do in an entire lifetime. Just keep doing what you're doing, bro. You're doing fucking great.
Releasing a song about this whole situation, and it's dedicated to Kujo. And it's coming out next week. It's coming out.
And we're gonna check it out in a minute.
It's called Kujo Beatdown. And I love it. We made an amazing video for it. I made a beat. By the way, the beat has no unlicensed samples in it. I made the whole thing myself. I wrote all the lyrics myself, all the beats are mine. And that'll be going up on YouTube and Spotify next week.
Dope.
I'll also be recreating Sick Boy because those lyrics and that arrangement is mine. So
we'll be checking that one out too.
The anniversary of Sick Boy, the album, you will be getting Sick Boy, the beat, remade, bigger and better than ever, without Kujo's input on it.
Fuck yeah.
So, look forward to that as well. And then, there's also a third song dropping. There's a little bit more positive. Next week's song is angry, alright? I'm just going to warn you there. And before Kujo and his, like, before they start complaining about blah, 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 artistic license here, you know what? I've said my piece. I'm not interested in ruining your life, bro, but I felt like I needed to get it out somehow, and so I got it out somehow. And I hope you're watching this, man, and I hope you enjoy the song, because it's dedicated to you, baby. Anyway, guys, I know that this was a long video, but I wanted there to be no doubt as to where everything stood in this situation and why you don't have a song that means so much to so many people and means so much to me. But there will be a revamped version of that song coming very soon, guys. And if you've made it this far, thank you, sincerely. And I hope there can be no doubt as to this situation. Thank you.
So I actually shared that split up, that little video on Instagram a while back. But anyway, great video. Appreciate you guys sticking through with me to this point. If you can stick around just a little bit longer, I'm going to also be splitting up this next part as song reactions. We're going to check out Kujo Beatdown and Sick Boy in just a minute here. Like I said, they'll be split up and posted separately as well. But if you want to stay here for it now, appreciate it. All right, so we'll rewind that quick. All right, so this one posted as of recording for the third time on this video. But this one posted 5 days ago. It's Kujo Beatdown, Ren. And of course, for those who are watching the split up, this is because of the whole debacle that Ren's been through. And if you haven't checked that video out yet, come and check out the full video. So let's jump up in this one. Okay, so obviously we're getting to a beat drop here. But, dude, I'm already vibing with it because it really has the exact same type of vibe that we had from Sick Boy. And not in a redundancy type way. Like, it's just reminiscent, you know what I mean? So, the fucking frustration that he's coming out with here, I fucking love it, man. He's such a performer.
Trying to be the person who is rightly doing right.
Alright, that didn't rewind the way I wanted it to. Sorry, guys.
Trying to be the person who is rightly doing right, who is right there on the righteous path, no wrong in words I write. But the forces out there test me when I'm trying to find the path and forgive all those who test my will. There's trouble in my heart. What the fuck, you little pussy? This ain't highway number 2. This ain't pendulums or songs of hope that can't talk from you. And the last time we did this, the hope did prevail. Now the hope is the road that will choke a bitch pale. No, just wait a sec. Cause there's nothing to be gained when you sever the neck. I know the art is a part of your heart, so you're upset. But this hate breeds hate, please wait, geez, Ren.
The fucking rhymes, the same back and forth that I mentioned that I seen over a year ago with this, man. Dude, I fucking love it. I fucking love the way he performs. I love the way he shows some of the mental health stuff here with the kind of voices in your head type shit. Like, the performance is just on fucking point, dude. And, like, trying to be the bigger person, trying to do the right thing. Like, so accurate in a song named for this reason. And, dude, I think we can all relate to that case. Maybe not to the severity, you know, the kind of shit this dude's going after. I mean, he's going after your whole fucking life, man. I get that 100%. But in people's own degree, I think we can relate as fans to the struggle of trying to do the right thing while people continuously test you, while you feel like God continuously throws you these tests. Like, performance on point, bro.
I'm pretty sick of the sick boy, trying to be the it boy, trying to be the I'm so morally equipped boy. Face it, you're mad as fuck, Ren. Now let me cut this worm with my razor blade pen.
The orchestra, bro. I love it.
Hi Kujo, please don't try to struggle, hear me out, see I'm on your side really. Well, I was, till I found you could get a little greedy. Push your luck a little far. There's a moral, little Jimmy, of the cookie and the jar.
Woo! Woo! Dude, this is sick. If I do say myself, bro, we can see the improvements you come through. Sick Boy was so badass, but your theatrics has come so fucking far. Like, if I can pick a goddamn split in the right spot. This shit in the background, like the the fucking white dress choir and shit like that, like, bro. And I like the more a little Jimmy. Fuck yeah, man. At the bottom of the cookie jar.
Of the cookie and the jar. See the needy and the greedy, they're just trying to fill a hole. So they take and then they take us all the empty in their soul. They feel so hard done by. Poor little you. Wanna take from me big, then I'll take from you too.
Ah! Gonna do the girlfriend too while he's at it. Ah!
Stop slut, you said the no. I thought you said you like it rough. I thought you said she liked it rough. You're a bitch, man. What the fuck? I'm confused by this dynamic. It's Clyde, but the killing you're committing is career suicide. You probably think that this is extreme. I won't lie. Maybe just a little bit mean, you know. I feel a little bad about it, really. Nah, I'm only messing, lad. I love to spank the greedy. Feel me? I hope you wake up sweating from your nightmares. See me? I'm the sick boy that you enslave. Free me. When you fuck with my work, you might as well.
And I actually learned from one of the fans, was it like a month ago or something, like a comment somebody threw in there. But I guess if they're correct, if I'm understanding correctly, Victus, another artist I've also checked out, that I've checked out actually feature he did with Ren. But Victus is the one that played the pig mask in the original, was it Sick Boy or whatever? I can't. I'm not sure if it was Sick Boy that they referenced or what it was, but the pig mask dude, anybody who's a huge fan knows exactly what I'm talking about. Apparently that was Victus. But anyway, dude, like, just speaking on how people might try to twist this song and go, man, why'd you say that about his girl? Why'd you say this? Why'd you say that? Like, that's so disrespectful. This is what happens when you unleash the demon inside someone. When you let them you give them a fucking reason to show you how bad it can get. You went after the man's life's work. Now you ain't gonna have a career. Have fun, buddy. Hope you like it.
I put my whole soul into my words legally. Now a little thief want beef, want steal from me. That's how little thief lose teeth, you meal to me. I'm the subject matter, you are part of the scenery. This is how the sick boy works, you feeling me? Cunt, I'm sick with the pen. I went easy on the daughter.
Dude, accurate as fuck. Like, accurate as fuck. I've never heard a better analogy to describe a producer, a beat maker, to the artist. I was trying to explain it earlier in this video, I think, when I was speaking on my opinion and shit. But Ren just put it fucking perfectly here. Perfectly. Like, you're the scenery, bro. Like, don't get me wrong. You do your part. You're an artist in your own way. But you're not the artist, bro. You're the scenery.
I'm the subject matter, you are part of the scenery. This is how the sick boy works, you feeling me? Cunt, I'm sick with the pen. I went easy on the daughter, he's a friend, it's Zen. But if I ever hear your mouth speak the name of Ren out in public, then it's public, you don't want that again. And no warning for your bitch, with a girlfriend too. Mrs. Nice behind the scenes, poor Kujo, boo-hoo. If I ever read another fucking comment from you, then this is only part one, it's even worse than part two.
The views expressed in this video are for creative purposes. Any issues I have will be dealt with on a personal basis. I do not condone abuse or bullying. I truly believe that, Ren. I really do. I believe your honesty in that. And not just to be all up in this, like, you know, as some might say, up on Ren's dick and shit, man. No. It's not dick riding him. Like, I truly believe this is the artistic. This is, like, I even, if I might paraphrase or recall some things that Jesse B had said, another artist that I interviewed. You know, the going hard, like in her song 6 Foot, the way it is, like, fuck if I can recall exactly how she said it, but it's an artistic thing. It's not necessarily something that, like, you believe in beating people up or whatever. It's, you can let your frustrations out on the track and do it artistically and show your talent and beat the shit out of somebody lyrically. You know what I mean? Like, that's art in itself. That's battle rap. That's like, it's lyricism, man. Like, good battle rappers, good diss track makers, whatever. They're lyricists. That's what I love about them. Is I'm curious to see how you're either gonna twist what somebody said and put it back at them, or like pick and do your research and say some shit like, perfect, bro. And going with the video where he just described the whole Kujo situation, showing receipts for like fucking everything. I think this illustrated it perfectly. It's beautiful. It's beautiful, Ryan. All right, now we're gonna get on to the next one. We're jumping into, as I switch, Sick Boy Part 2. I was super fucking excited when I seen that he dropped this. Had no idea what was coming. I actually seen the Kujo beatdown stuff first, and then found out right before I finished the video, before the part where you seen, you know, him mentioning it, I had found out, and I got super excited. I'm like, I'm adding that bitch to the video. So I'm glad it took multiple sessions, because at least I got to see this, and maybe when he mentioned it in the video, I would have thought of it anyway, but it provided me extra time to go ahead and do this. If you guys are seeing the split up here, make sure you go check out the full video if you're interested in hearing about the whole thing, hearing, you know, kind of my input on my thoughts on the right and wrongs here. So anyway, Sick Boy Part 2. Click play too soon. Let's jump up in it. I'm excited for the choir voices.
Sick boy, allopathic script boy, pathogenic, schizophrenic, call it medic, quick boy, just wanna scratch the itch boy, agoraphobic, multi-pulses on it, I'm that sick boy, nothing to lose, nothing to win or to prove, nothing but holes in my shoes, nothing but nothing, I'm hustling, bustling, pain is a paradox I didn't choose, nothing but truth, nothing but fire in the booth, nothing that you could do I couldn't do, nothing that you could do better, forget all the others, I'm aiming at you. Cytotoxic, diagnostic, catastrophic news, since I got sick, known for one, the pain it comes in twos, catatonic, antipsychotic, beta blockers, antibiotics, watch the clock, pick the lock, pick quick, let's dip, get loose. Wait for a minute, I'm struggling with it, I'm doubling down and I'm doubling digits, I live with the pain and forgive it, cause bitterness eats you alive when you're in it, admit it, then flip it, then rip up the script, it's fitting that I have been screaming at demons that visit, I'm feeling so rigid, I lean on religion, but God said I'm laughing, I'm burning my bridges.
Dude, he is going hard as shit, just chopping them fucking lyrics. Like, I love the feel of this. When it first started with the choir, like, I'm into it. I love the fucking choir voices. If y'all have watched my reactions before, anytime we get some unique stuff like that, I think I've checked out some choir voices before and made this mention, but I love the fucking touch that it brings to it. I really do. Especially in rap, if we go hard, like I think Jeezy's done some church-style stuff. Who else? Maybe Yo Gotti or some shit, but I can't recall all of them off the top of my head. But, The Game, I think, Holy Water. Like, dude, it just, some of these fucking songs go hard as fuck when you get kind of this twist on what I grew up with Catholic. I don't follow anymore, but like, it's just, yeah. It's a dope artistic touch. We did go to an extent, like, after the beat drop, I'm like, okay. And then I'm like wondering, I'm like, you know, Kujo Beatdown was badass. This is still good, but this isn't what I expected. And now, like, after he just started ripping the fucking bars off, like, I don't know if I'm necessarily seeing the Sick Boy Part 2 to this as much as I seen kind of a Part 2 with the Kujo thing. But it's dope regardless. Like, this goes hard as fuck, bro. Goes hard as fuck. But we still got 3 more minutes, so let's keep going.
Car crash, whiplash, ambulance, body bags, zip back. It's a game of circumstance. Wrong turn, everything can all collapse. Get burned, back inside the relapse. Crack, stay stacked back to back, and I'm back on my back inside the counter attack. Got pros at, knock it back, wash it down and relax, and that's that. Subtract, collapse, react, adapt. Upon a time that was not long ago, there lived a boy inside his mind. Sometimes the thought would overflow and grow until they blinded the boy. He decomposed, and if you read between the lines of his story, you will know that there is method to his madness, prerequisite for his sadness. For there must be catalysts which exist to explain his status. Extract it and look right at it. His panic was formed in fragments that happened from lack of passion, attacking his hippocampus. Back to the story where the story begins. There was a boy, he was confused by the world that he lived in. A world where profit is religion and to knock it is sin. A world where prophets spread the word of putting profit over kin. Sink or swim, blood that is thicker than money and dividends. He grew thick skin, see it for what it is, resist and take a hit on the chin. Anti-capitalist, a rationalist, a war, it shall begin. On the greedy who mislead the people, it starts from within. Are you in it to win, or are you in it for a purpose that exists outside your skin? When you're in it, is it worthless to resist? Begin again. Are you screaming on the surface? Are you like me? Are you in?
I don't know if you guys caught, like, my face expression. Like, I try to be as honest and just go with what I feel, but man, like, that face change, like, at first I'm like kind of surprised, like, I'm like, I really love this. And I just, sometimes you think about, like, is there a way to express what is going through my head visually more? And in that case, I just let it go natural. But to explain more to what I was feeling in that case, like, I'm both surprised and in pure bliss with that calm switch. And then to come back to the beat, I'm like, fuck yeah, bro. Like, dude, just the artisticness here, man. Let's go back a bit so we can actually catch that all over again. Nope, back a little more. Still more. Like, no joke, dude. I had to pause again. I seriously think I'm gonna make a custom little track for my alarms. Like, right where the beat drops off and goes to the bliss. And yes, that's right. I just call it bliss because that's exactly what I was feeling there. I'm gonna take a chunk to make it as part of like my wake up routine. I think that's a really good calm, like right into kind of a rock out. Like that's a perfect fucking way to wake up, bro. That was a dope fucking track. Son of a bitch. Okay, so the reason why I did this... Oh, and I got a little scratched up. God damn it. Oh well, that's what happens when you wall mount shit and don't put protectors on it, but... I got it because I wanted the vinyl, but the cover's still dope. And at least the front stuff fucked up. But anyway... So right on the bottom here, if you guys can see that, I'll try not to get a glare in there for my light. There. Sick Boy Part 2. I don't know if y'all remember when I released this. When I did my... I'll put this back up later. But when I did my little short or whatever the fuck it was, I might have even went live. I think I might have done a full video or short something. Because I was super fucking excited when it finally came. And I'm trying to find when I did it real quick while I'm doing my conclusion. But, dude, I was so fucking excited. Sorry, I gotta finish this search so I can do this properly for you guys. But looking through here, okay, we're 5 months ago. 8 months ago. So I did unboxing / I got this vinyl kind of excited video thing, right? And I might have even mentioned it there and read off all the songs, but I completely forgot there was a Sick Boy Part 2. And I love that he finally put this up on YouTube for me to check out, and I think it went great with doing it as part of this whole session with the Kujo beatdown and all that stuff. But, dude, it just... I love that he already had a part 2, but it goes that much better when we're talking about 8 months ago. He didn't even know this shit was going on. And he had already come out with a part 2. Who knew he would have came out with a part 2 that not only kicks fucking ass, but then it's also doubles as a fuck you at this point. Because he dropped the fucking release right at the same time. And I don't know. I didn't catch it for sure. Maybe he had already released it and he re-released it. Maybe the hardcore fans that are like stalking his page might know that. But the way I ended up checking it out, I'm super happy. Because I've been wanting to do an album review on that, which I think I'm still going to do when I got to remember to put that on my list. I got so many fucking albums to check out. You artists have been going hard as fuck this year. Like, through the winter last year into this year, you've been going hard as fuck. And it's just so much shit. Like, I was burnt out from the hard-ass work through the winter, but so much to catch up on, man. But I love it. I really love it. Like, I don't know if you guys can see the fucking joy in my face, but I literally have a natural, like, I don't get these natural, like, grins that pull my fucking face back like this, but that's true happiness, and music does that for me. Music really does that for me, and Ren's music especially here, man. Like this, that was such a blissful song and such a well-composed song through the whole thing. Like truly such a well-composed song through the entire thing. So, I appreciate you guys sticking through this whole thing to this point. Those who watched the full Kujo situation breakdown, whatever you want to call this. It's getting towards my bedtime, but I'm going to try to get this edited for you guys so I can get it out by tomorrow. But yeah, man. It's just such a fucked up situation, but Ren finds a way to still make such amazing music for his fans. And the Kujo beatdown, like, I wouldn't have it any other fucking way. Like, bro, that was a perfect, like, I almost see it as a Sick Boy Part 2, but since you had a Part 2, it's kind of like its own little additional split-off rendition. It's not even really a Part 3. It's like its own version of a Part 2 of that song, and I fucking love it, man. Like, both were amazing. Both were amazing. And I feel for you, Ren, and I hope you get this shit resolved. Don't be surprised if I end up reposting my original Sick Boy reaction if you have to take that song down. I'm sure you won't go for striking me. I'll deal with whatever shit comes my way as far as that goes. If somebody else tries to come after me for it. But fuck it. You know, if I gotta make it members only, if I gotta do whatever, I want to keep that shit up if at all possible. So, yeah, man. Like, no joke. I just remembered I gotta go and download that sumbitch too, just in case. And like, to those who are watching this to this point, like, I'm sure you guys are super hardcore fans of Ren's. So I highly suggest you download that song as well, because it's very possible we might lose that one, just on bullshit of the music industry, you know. But I'm sure Ren's gonna fight to keep that shit out there. So, if you guys like this reaction video, please be sure to smash that like button down below. Thank you guys for commenting, sharing, subscribing. I appreciate you guys sticking through the 3-part fucking reaction of this. I know, I'm sorry, busy life and whatnot, but I really do appreciate you guys being here. I'm sure Ren does as well, and for that, please go check out Ren's channel if you haven't already. If you're new to him, go sub up. I'm sure you're gonna fucking love his music if you love the stuff that you've seen so far. Again, I really, really, really do appreciate you guys being here. I mean that with all my heart. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and we'll catch you all in the next one. Peace.